All right, what's poppin', Tub Nation? Welcome back to Tub Takes. This is a video podcast where we go over what's been making waves in the VGC scene. Today, I am joined by my co-host, Adi.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast.
It's the podcast. We've also got some top-placing Sacramento players. We've got Raghav, who just finished the top 4. How you doing, Raghav?
Doing great. Honestly, been riding that high, so my day's just been really good.
We also have Michael Zhang, ESM, the Eternal Snowman. Don't follow him on Twitter. The regional champion here with us. How you doing?
I'm just really tired. I didn't sleep much in Sacramento, and then I also didn't sleep much last night because I got back really late, and then I still had work in the morning. So. I'm just tired. Whatever.
You didn't listen to us. We told you to just take the day off and celebrate, man.
I mean, I can't because I had meetings scheduled today, so it's yeah.
Being in is a top 4 luxury.
Well, yeah, we're gonna be covering a couple of different things this week. Obviously, talking a lot about Sacramento. We've also got some housekeeping at the top, but just a quick reminder to everybody that. We'll also be talking about all our topics, but if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. And this will also be uploaded on YouTube on Wednesday. So if you are here now, but you can't stick around for the whole thing, you can check it out on Adi's YouTube channel there in the chat, CK49 VGC. Is it CK49 or CK49 VGC? I guess
It's CK49, but if you want to type in the URL, it's CK49VGC because CK49 is too short for the URL. So it's a whole thing.
Fair. Weird. I was like, I always type in CK49 to find the channel.
Last time I got a complaint from my mom who watched this, who said that, hey, you need to get a lamp, or you need to move around your setup. And so I did order a lamp. It's getting here this week, so this is the last time I'm going to be this dark on stream.
I feel like Rajan had the same complaint about your room just having terrible lighting. Is Rajan your mom? I don't know. We'll confirm that later. But yeah. Anyways, also I hope people got the meme because I don't know. Apparently people didn't get the meme. It's supposed to be the Obama meme. the Obama putting a medal on himself. I don't know. I
didn't realize that.
Half of Tub thought that this was a different person. Thought that it was just an Asian judge.
They just thought it was another Asian person. I'm like, you guys are just terrible.
I knew it was him, but I didn't realize it was the Obama meme. I, for some reason, just didn't put it together. But I was like, that's definitely him. He's just crowning himself. That's kind of funny.
So
Alex, we got a question in chat. Will you post the Weezing team? Are you gonna publish
the answer is IDK. Next up, we have a quick reminder. I did grab, because we'll get to it later. We don't have the open team sheets. I might have to fidget around, but I can grab my open team sheet. But anyways, first up, reminder: San Antonio signups this Wednesday. I don't know actually what time. Let's find that on the page. Maybe it looks like 7.
I want to say 7 p.m.
Yeah,
I added another tweet that has the. That has it.
It's in this page that I. Oh, you added it to the doc.
I added a couple tweets to the doc. It has the information of total number of seats as well as the time. So 7 p.m. CST, -5 GMT. So San Antonio time, I guess. Hopefully, I mean that is actually the time that it is right now, right? The time that we normally host the podcast. So if you're free on Monday at 7 p.m., surely you're free on Wednesday at 7 p.m., right?
The same thing, right?
Right? No one makes plans. I will say, and I added this tweet to the doc. They capped it at 500 masters, which admittedly is bigger than the first 3 regionals that we've had so far. This is also the first regional we've had that, one, isn't capped really low, like Pittsburgh. I guess it's only capped slightly higher, but 2, it's in a slightly more happening city right in the middle of the country that's easier to fly to. And so I would not be shocked if this one caps within the first day, maybe. I wouldn't risk it. I'd register immediately if you were planning on going, or at least as soon as possible. That being said, they also published on Twitter that if it did cap they would increase the number of people. They would try to increase the cap at the very least, which is really good because 512 Masters is actually a kicker for VGC. At 512 Masters, you get top 256 championship points.
That one. Okay. Yeah. That would be nice. Okay. Yeah, I was like wondering why they don't just do it right away, but I guess if they don't have to commit the extra space, they don't have to, so they're I don't know. What was that reaction?
Hello?
What's the deal?
Yeah, what happened?
Wait, I thought I cut out.
No. He was so mad that he thought his internet was cut off. No, you're good.
No one was moving. Yeah, I was just like, wait a second. No one is moving. No one is reacting. I was like, did I just cut out again?
No, we heard the whole thing, so.
Yeah, we heard you.
Yeah.
I also agree. I think San Antonio is going to be a bigger regional than both of the last two, and will definitely hit cap faster. Like
Dallas was so big.
Don't wait.
Yeah, 500. I think it might cap like within like 30 minutes or an hour or something. Like it.
Ooh, we're thinking
500
quick.
is not that much. Yeah, 500 is not that many spots. I don't like it's. Like if you want to go, I think you should try to sign up. Like.
In terms of people here who is thinking about going, Audie, I know that you're not thinking about going because it's kind of a drive.
No, it is a bit of a drive for me. It's like a whole 2 hours, and they're really there are other things I'd rather be doing my Saturday than playing Pokemon. So
for sure,
we'll see. Maybe if the slot's available a couple days earlier, if I'm really feeling myself.
Raghav, are you thinking about going?
No, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure. I need to think about it. I also would be convinced if I was going to a basketball game.
That's what everybody's talking about.
Around the regional.
Everyone's talking about the basketball game.
I'm going to the game.
Sam, I know you're going. You're going to the game. Go ahead.
Yeah.
How much are they? I want to see Wemby.
Ooh, it's not that cheap, but
we paid $140, and our tickets aren't even that good.
Oh, wait,
yeah.
Okay though, that's like not like unthinkable.
Yeah, for LeBron versus Wemby, that's pretty reasonable. I know you're used to like. I know you're used to. For the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might go then.
Okay, yeah. Let me know. We booked tickets that are all together. Not Donald and ESM. They booked their own tickets before we got our shit together, and then said, "Here's where we're sitting." And then we're sitting on the opposite side of the stadium from them.
Wait,
so
nice.
You guys said let us get as far from them as possible.
We could not find tickets in the same section, but there should be more tickets in the same section for us. So that's all. We'll inform you of that. But yeah, we're going to the. There's going to be hopefully a big VGC crowd at the Lakers Spurs game the night before San Antonio Regionals, which should be really fun.
Yeah. So that's gonna be cool. I'm also kind of in the maybe department. I'm maybe deciding tonight. Honestly, I was gonna look into it. I told myself that if I made money at Sacramento, that I would consider booking it, and I did. So we'll see. Anyways, somebody did ask in the chat, whatever happened to dumpster exodia? I heard that term in like 2018 and never again. I feel like it would apply in this format really well. I do remember hearing that a bit more back then. I feel like it's because, like, not to like make it all about the format being like, boring, but like, it just feels like we see there's so many good high BST Pokemon that like a lot of things just feel viable, and so like even ESM's team, which we'll get to talking about, does look very weird and out there. Like all the Pokemon have like minimum like 520 BST. Rillaboom is the lowest one. We were talking about this, right?
Yeah.
So
I think I have an answer for this. It's really like Rajan's been less active as a player, so there's not much to look at.
Yeah.
I will say, the teams that were described as Dumpster Exodia in 2018 existed in 2021 when we were playing that National Dex format. I felt the exact same vibes, and I would not be shocked to see it now / Regulation F when we get a true National Dex format. I feel like what you're describing is just every team in a Nat Dex format. They all kind of just are good stuff mons that, the power level is high enough that you need to use Pokemon that have high BSTs, but you're not centralized enough with restricteds that you have these like weird picks like Toxicroak that kind of stand out because of their very, very specific niche. So that just Dumpster Exodia just kind of describes most of the Nat Dex teams that I've seen, I'd say.
Hey, I'm just saying, if you're talking about my team, if we're saying fucking Pokemon are dumpsters, all these Pokemon have like these like bad Pokemon have like 600 BSP or whatever. It's like
That's true.
Como and T-Tar literally just have 600 stats. So like, I mean,
they do have some 4x weaknesses. We'll definitely be talking about that too.
yeah. We can
and-
talk more about it later, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it in that, like, hey, remember when Registeel was good? Like, Registeel also has a lot of base stats. It's also kind of a shit mod, and it was good for the same reason this Kamo was good too. So
Fair enough.
I kind of see it in the same light as that sort of team that was really popular in the last generation's national decks.
Mm-hmm.
Como is better though. It's like the stab fighting really racks up.
Yeah, it does.
yeah, people don't respect the amount of damage it can do.
So first tournament that we are going to be talking about is one that I think took place over the last weekend. But we finally have a bit more information about it. Maybe the Madrid MSS. I'm not sure if they do have open team sheets, so that's nice. And this was won by Edu. Are we sure we didn't talk about this, Audi? We didn't.
I think we might have briefly touched on it, but we did not have team sheets at the time we were talking. I don't think we talked about it. Now we have team sheets, which is why I was looking at it. And the other reason is that it is there are regional differences between the metagames, and
Totally.
I think that this is maybe a better look at what we are going to see at the French regional that's upcoming this weekend that we will be previewing at the end of this episode. Also, we don't have team sheets for Sacramento, so there's only so much we can talk about there. So looking at these teams might be an interesting thing to do in the meantime. One thing real quick that I just saw on Twitter that I didn't mention but is relevant with respect to San Antonio is that Toronto registration numbers have been updated. There are 570 VGC Masters currently for San Antonio for Toronto, and they will be releasing updated registration numbers on Mondays and Thursdays, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So that's looking like a 600 player regional, which is kind of more in line with what I expect Sacramento to look like.
And does that still have open slots?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
That was one that I was like also considering going to, but I don't think it's going to be cheaper than San Antonio. So, but I also just didn't even remember when registration opened for that one, if it was closed or what. So, anyways,
San Antonio.
What's that you say?
Just come to San Antonio.
Yeah, I mean San Antonio seems like the more based one right now. So, seems like where the people are going to be at. But yeah,
How many people are in Toronto registration?
570 Masters.
Wow. Okay. Winning that would be great.
Yeah, I know. I mean, when there's more people in a tournament, it just makes it more hype. Like, is another thing. But I think that, well, I don't know if I totally agree with ESM's take that it's going to fill up in the first like 30 minutes. I just saw Kudal's comment. Anyway, well, I don't think it's going to fill up in the first 30 minutes. I think it's definitely going to be a big event, San Antonio, and so that one's probably going to be on the same level of Toronto in terms of attendance numbers. Anyways, let's get to talking about some actual Pokemon. Adi was talking about regional differences, and I always like to point out that, you know, over here we have cool people using cool teams like Raghav with Hail, ESM with Sand, me with Weezing, and over here we have just Pokemon. Look at these teams, guys. I'm so excited to talk about them, Adi. Thank you for bringing these up. Look at this. Edu's got a Heatran. That guy's crazy. Shuckleberry? What?
Juan Borreguero.
Yeah, can we look at this fifth place team?
Which one? Fifth place? Okay, fifth place is something, yeah. Honestly, this is the closest thing to Dumpster Exodia, as we were talking about earlier. Which is silly to say when it still just has like 6, you know, good high BST Pokemon, but it's an ape team that also has Ting Lu. I thought that Pokemon was retired. I thought we'd let that guy go to rest. And
I might bring him back at Toronto, honestly.
Ting Lu's hype. I love Ting Lu.
Clear Amulet's cool too, right? Like if you're talking about a Landorus format, it's really going to be useful there.
Yeah.
Although, man, Ogerpon is just so hard for Tinglu to deal with. I mean, I guess you have to Terrafire it, yeah, for it to really put in work.
Tom Hayden would hate Ting Lu. Spam players are just preying on Ting Lu's downfall.
It's pretty fair.
Yep.
A play rough on Ogerpon as well. That's interesting.
His play rough?
There is a play rough there. What's that for?
I
Hands? Does more damage to hands?
Terra Dragon.
Terra Dragons, yeah, true.
Or Shifu
Yeah, but
Bell.
you have Rock Ivy Cudgel, so I mean, I guess it's okay. I don't know.
Yeah, otherwise a lot of relatively standard choices here. The Assault Vest on the Rillaboom, Arcanine just with a good damage reduction set, and a pretty standard Iron Bundle as well. I'd say that's actually the standard, sorry. And then just an Annihilate. Ape teams are definitely good at, I think, capitalizing on the type of teams we're seeing here in this event. The like slower balanced teams, I mean, there are definitely some more aggressive teams above it. Maybe that's how they were able to get through it. But like looking at Edu's team, I could see Edu's team maybe struggling a bit into Ape. I don't know, maybe Edu did just beat this person head to head anyways, but like Ape does like to prey on those types of teams.
I think you have to flutter through it.
Edu did not play this person,
Got it. Okay.
by the way.
Oh, is the bracket
got
down there?
list.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there.
Okay, so they lost to what does look like a slow team. So.
The 8th place team's kind of cool.
Which team?
The 8th place one.
Oh, the 8th place one. Yeah, I mean, there's the
Mhm.
Sinistcha. We were saying that Sinistcha is like the most overhyped Mon from the second DLC. Like, it's a lot of people were saying it's good, but it's just not putting up results. I'm honestly gonna go jump ahead to Sacramento and try to figure out where the highest placing one was, because I don't think there was one in top 8.
How are you going to do that?
I mean, I'm not gonna do it quickly. I'm gonna. Oh wait, you don't get to see past 8th.
Yeah. That's why I said we needed something else to talk about. We have
Bro,
8 teams to look at.
Where's my team? Where's me?
we have when open team sheets come out, they'll update it. But yeah, we don't have open team sheets yet.
Oh, wait a minute. Edu's only loss was Juan, the 5th place team.
Oh
Let's
damn!
go.
Let's go.
Okay, so I guess my analysis was not inaccurate. I know what I'm talking about.
You're kind of a genius.
Wow, my brain feels so big right now. That's pretty funny. Wow, I'm actually so upset about we're canceling the podcast, man. There's nothing to talk about.
No, okay. This is genuinely okay. I told you I had a rant queued up before the episode. I'm gonna do it right now because it's relevant. I wish that they really should release the team sheets as soon as possible. There is no reason for them not to. Arcanine Labs has confirmed on Twitter that it is basically just as soon as the organizers request that they publish team sheets, they can do it. In fact, it's almost one of the things I miss about the old like top 32 cut system is that they had to release the team sheets on Saturday night so that you could use them on Sunday morning, and we had something to talk about the next day because like it's important. It's important for the hype cycle, really, because everyone watches these regionals. Like, not just me as a competitive player. Everyone watches these regionals. Competitive players, casual players. They see all these cool ideas to come out of it, and their first reaction is, "I want to try these teams out. I want to use it." And sometimes people will post rental codes, not always, but it's not hard to recreate these teams using the open team sheets. That's the incredible thing that we've been blessed with open team sheets is this freedom of information, this ability to really like try out all these cool teams that are now available to us. But that hype dies down really quickly, and for content creation purposes, it sucks. You see us struggling to do this podcast, and you're going to see us struggling a lot more when we actually talk about Sacramento. I've seen a number of YouTubers, obviously, go and analyze the results from Sacramento, but it's really hard to do that if you don't really get to look at the teams. And on the other hand, you don't really get to do that 3 days later. Like if on teams come out on Wednesday or Thursday, that's a lot less interesting a breakdown. People want that sort of thing immediately. The hype dies down. Similarly, if you just finished watching the regional, you just watched Michael use his incredible Komodo team to win this regional, I'm sure that your first reaction is, I want to try this team out. If you could just go grab the open team sheet, it'd be great. And again, with literally no downside, right? It's literally just telling them to click a button. You suddenly just like, VGC is marketing, right? VGC is a way for Pokemon to generate hype about the game, to get people to keep playing the game, to keep people invested in the game. And both competitive players and casual players really, really benefit by this information being uploaded and out there as soon as possible. And so it's really frustrating that they don't even like communicate when they're going to do it for our purposes, but really they should just be doing it as soon as possible. And I have no idea why they don't.
Yeah, I I gotta say, I just disagree with all of this. Nothing really to elaborate on, but I don't think your points are justified.
I was gonna say the same thing actually, like word for word. I feel like you might have plagiarized that.
No. That is a quote from me right now. That just came off the dome, and I was not looking
I was
through
talking about
Discord.
Javi actually, so
I was not looking through Discord to find the exact quote. Trust me. Anyways,
that's my rant on team sheets. Honestly, if they started saying, "Hey, we're gonna release the team sheets on Tuesday morning," we just move top takes to Tuesday afternoon.
I mean,
Tuesday
yeah,
evening, right?
for
Like
sure.
that level of transparency would be great.
Mm-hmm.
they just DM you specifically.
By the way, Adi. Oh yeah. So yeah, Edu's team. I don't really know what else there is to say about it. Shaka is
I have something
interesting.
to say about it.
Yeah. What do you got? Say your.
I think that I've looked at these standings a little too much as well. It is. Remember last week at when we were looking at the results from Peoria, we were pointing out that the core to beat, the core that was I think 10 out of the top 128, maybe 11 out of the top 128, was all Overpond Water, Fluttermane, Chiyu, Iron Hands, and Landorus with a flex slot. And that is nowhere to be seen here. Instead, I think there were 9 of the X2 or better players, and X2 goes down to like top 27 to 28. By the way, this is like a 250 player midseason showdown. This is a regional in a lot of areas of EGC.
We probably should have prefaced with that because, yeah, like when you hear midseason showdown, you think, well, this is a smaller thing. It was only for 50 championship points, but there was a decent prize on the line, a Hawaii flight, so that's pretty cool. And
that's crazy.
That is really crazy.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you were competing against 200 plus players. Like that is a regional, as Adi was saying.
These are like legitimately useful results to look at. But the fact that the same weekend in Peoria, North America, was using that exact 5-month core, 7-8 of the top 30 players at this midseason showdown were using that same core, but with Heatran over Chiyu. And so I was really interested in that big regional difference, the differences in team building groups in EU versus NA, and how the balanced teams are shaking out, where the fire type slot is changing. And then obviously the flex slot changes, but that's the entire point, right? No one ran Illumise at this tournament. But we did see a bunch of different Pokemon in that last slot. And so that was one of the that was the big takeaway from Edu's team is, yes, Edu used this team, but a bunch of people used almost exactly the same team. And that was just really, really common. And again, I think that's going to be the most common team going into the French regional, just because of how many Spaniards are and I guess people from the Iberian Peninsula are using that sort of team, and potentially the rest of Europe as well.
You could just call all Europeans like they just love the boring stuff, man. They like the thing is, I was talking to Scott this weekend, Scott Iwafuchi, and I was like, I think Mons is like a solid like B tier game in terms of like gameplay. Like I enjoyed the building, like the building is like S plus. Like it's just like I want to put together something interesting and then like play a matchup. I was talking to ESM about this a bit too. Like just like mirrors, just that's not why we play Pokemon. But Europeans, they're like, oh, I love this shit, man. Let's see who's got the better Iron Hands spread. Let's see whose Fluttermane is like more situated for the mirror. This is thrilling. Raghav does a bit of both. Raghav's definitely a bit. He plays both sides.
Raghav builds the meta.
That's true. And then he does something else. He builds the meta and then he does something else, like snow in this case.
Yeah, I just use whatever I think is good and comfortable. And like this format, or like recently, it's been kind of the broken Pokemon are like too broken. It's kind of hard not to.
Mm-hmm.
I also was kind of worried that my team was not updated enough, but like I was so comfortable with it that I picked it. But no, it like worked out great, and using cool shit makes me feel so much better when I do well.
Yeah, that's a lesson I've learned about myself as well. In fact, all three of us, I would say, used like teams that were not seen commonly represented in the cut. And Torbib says NA is scared of good mons. Honestly, fair enough.
True, I am
fair critique. That's a fair critique. Honestly, I good jab. I love it. But anyway, yeah, the three of us, like we all had like teams that were like a bit out there, and also we all knew our teams like a very long time ago, which is funny. ESM I think knew his team the longest ago. Like that team's been in his builder since like the first 3 days of the format. I know Raghav's been on Hail for a minute, and I did not have my final wheezing paste as long as y'all, but I've had it for a minute. And yeah, let's talk about this Europe event. We're talking plenty about Sacramento. We're jumping back and forth, but any other teams here that we need to talk about? I guess we should talk about the team that went 8-0 and got second. Is this not the same 6 as Riley? But maybe no. I don't think Riley had.
He had King Gambit over
Rillaboom.
Rillaboom.
Rilla.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
Rilla.
And the Dragonite was assault vested
Wait, did
Yeah.
he have Ogre Pawn Fire as well?
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
Ogre Fun Fire.
with Follow Me.
So yeah, I don't even know what's going on.
It was Woodhammer instead of Glide on his because he doesn't have a Rilla, but yeah.
That
No,
makes
no.
sense.
Riley had Hornleech.
Oh, Hornage, sorry. You're right.
And then like the Mungus attack was different as well, right?
Yeah, Grass
It
Knot.
was
Riley
Grass
is a
Knot.
Grass Knot defender. He was using that when he won Pittsburgh, I believe. And the format changed, but he still believes that's the one.
Oh, also AV Dragonite instead of
Yeah.
Sergio's choice band.
I think it was Thunder Punch instead of Outrage.
Otherwise,
Honestly,
everything's the same.
respect to Riley using whack stuff, honestly, especially after just like winning a regional. And
Already
then
got an
he
invite.
pivoted-
Almost got a third. Got 2 invites in one, as everyone was saying. You know, would have hit 500 CP and another automatic invite from winning a second regional. ESM, of course, crushed that dream. Anyway, yeah. Other than that, like, I mean, we have pastes, but like, I could click on these and it's gonna be like, oh, this Iron Hands has Fake Out, Heavy Slam, Wild Charge, and Drain Punch. With Terrifier.
And sadly, we only have top 8 pastes. We do have teams for top 64. By the way, this is a midseason showdown that awarded top 64 CP. You could go 5-3 and get 13 championship points. Isn't that great?
That's
13
awesome.
points for a midseason showdown.
That's awesome. Wow. Are there any cool teams down here in the 13 CP land, Audie? I'm actually
I
looking
didn't
down
even
here,
look.
and they're still using boring stuff. I think Edu's team got last. No, Edu didn't have King Gambit. Or not last, but 64th.
The 10th place team had a Sneasler. I see a Cleavor in
Several
the top 64
Okey-dokey.
range.
Yo, where was the?
I see a Hisui and Braviary in top 64.
Okay, wait, that's tight.
Yo.
What number? What number?
48.
I like that. I chose to have the page translated back into English, and so some of the numbers are just typed. I don't know. Like 50 is just typed 50. 48. Yo, there's a Hisuian Braviary and an Okidogi.
What
Several
all that
Okey-dokey.
is.
Yeah, but
I
this
would
is on
want
the
to
same
see what
team.
it is.
There's a Goodra. Oh, Klops. Klops and Amorous at 28th.
Randy brings up a good point. 13 points, but the bar is lower, so those 13 points mean more.
And I will say that, like, yes, we just talked about how big an event this is. This is still a local, right? You're not really getting a reach out of you. Pretty much everyone in Spain, it seems like, went, but like other than Edu, I don't think that a ton of players outside of Spain went. So, you know, very big event, but also top 64 is this isn't an all European event, right? This isn't as impressive as the top 64. Let's say the French regional is coming up. So take it with a grain of salt when Hisui and Braviary gets there. I'm not super convinced on it personally, but Braviary is one of my favorite Pokemon, so it is cool to see.
Yep.
I always lose it on ladder because I don't know what it does.
What does it do?
I don't know what
I
it
don't know.
does.
I don't know.
it
That and
sounds-
Belly Bolt.
It does not sound hot. All right. I think we do have open team sheets for these Japanese teams, but I don't want to go through the trouble of opening them because they're in like Google Doc form.
And most of them are Japanese too.
Got it. So
They're Japanese photos.
oh, nice. Okay. Well, I mean, we could always bug ESM to translate them, but I don't think that's worth the time.
I can't even do that because they're all in like the Japanese moves and stuff. Like I just don't know what they're called. Like translate to.
Oh,
English,
fair,
so.
fair. So yeah, okay.
For what it's worth, Tio's is in English if you want to look at his open team sheet specifically. But that's, I think,
don't.
maybe it. I don't know who Sig UX9 is.
I'm also wondering about
but-
Sig UX9. Like, is this like, were they copying Joe? Like, this seems like an alt. I'm so
It could be an alt for sure.
Sig
What
UX9.
kind of overpawn is that?
No, they
That's
have
regular.
they have been on Twitter since 2015, and all of their tweets are in Japanese. They might be mocking Joe, but they are not. But it seems like a real account to me.
Wow.
Weird. Yeah, no, I think it's a real one, Raghav, and if I remember correctly, was this one Life Orb? It might have been Life Orb with like Stomping Tantrum or something. Unless I'm thinking of another team that had regular Ogre Pawn.
That's cool.
He's in the X9 Academy, people are saying. All right. Anyway, Rosenkreutz took it, who is a known
Beast.
Japanese player, ladder warrior. Plays a lot on Showdown on Rosenkreutz often. I actually played them in the week leading up to Sacramento, but they were using something different. So, anyways, oh yeah, I remember what they were using some stupid hard trick room stuff on Showdown. I remember it. It had the Rock Ogre. Oh, Joe
Wait, at
copies.
the
Sig. What's up?
We also have this.
Did the Madrid MSS have any hard trick room, like even close to the top? Because I feel like we saw a decent amount of it at Sacramento.
Yeah, 10th Javier. Well, it's not hard trick room actually. It's just size spam, Torkoal, and then 3 fast mons: Flutter, Heat, Trans, Sneasel. Sneasler. What is it called? But I'm lagging in like real life. Like that wasn't my internet. I just couldn't get through it.
Yeah, so yeah, there were some trick room finishes there, but obviously nothing in the top 8, nothing as deep as Sacramento, and yeah, no trick room finishes here in this Japanese tournament. There is a Hisui and Gudra. There's an Ndidi on a Tailwind team. I feel like that's kind of fallen off as a trick room denial. It seems like more people are going the route of Tayo. I guess Tayo doesn't have Tailwind, but still priority denial. Most people seem to run the Giraffe if they are not compounding it with Psy Spam, Armarouge and Ndidi. I feel like I don't see solo Ndidi as much anymore.
Follow me is cool though.
For sure. I love the Twitch chat. I don't know why Psy Spam isn't performing better, and then because nobody likes it. I gave Psy Spam a chance. I used it in Orlando. I had my fun, but mine was a belly drum team. Like, it was hype with belly drum Iron Hands.
Oh my god, that's so long ago.
It was actually, it feels like forever ago. Yeah, Vern, right?
The thing about size spam is that you can't say its lack of results aren't due to its are due to its lack of players, right? Like there are some there are some Pokemon, some archetypes that probably need to be explored more to do well. Like, I mean, we just saw two, all 3 of you guys use very, very innovative teams based around Pokemon that hadn't really seen a ton of success do really well, and like maybe could continue to see success if more people picked them up. Size spam, man, people who play size spam, they play size spam. They don't play anything but size spam, right? And so you've got the sample size for it. And I think the reality is, honestly, is that just like it is a very aggressive team. There are some very good players piloting it, and those players will pretty consistently do well. But at the end of the day, I think you just need to make one too many aggressive plays per game to the point where like you can't hit them all. And to win a regional, I think you need to either get all of your reads right or get I think you need to be using a team that's a little more consistent when it comes to a 14-round tournament plus 3 knockout rounds. But I mean, obviously, huge props to Brian. He played really well, and it was really hyped to see him do super well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, if Eevee can win a regional, like, it's possible. I guess events are bigger now, but we've seen some bad shit win. And I don't even think size spam is bad. It's just like, yeah, you got to hit your matchups right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, Rillaboom's not on every team. King Gambit's like not enough. Tinglu doesn't exist. there's it's kind of in a good spot. It's just I just don't like Psychic Terrain, so I will refuse to use it.
Psychic Terrain's always felt dirty ever since Tapu Lele. Like, just that's not all right.
It's tainted.
It's tainted.
Terrible.
Yeah. So otherwise, I don't know. I can't really say anything else in this cut stands out to me except maybe the 8th place Talonflame, another Pokemon that kind of thought was retired, but I don't totally hate it being used mainly because it's another Pokemon that abuses flying type damage. We've seen how strong that is right now with Terra Blast Landorus and Tornadus to another extent. You know, if everybody's having an Ogerpon, sometimes 2 grass types on the team, flying type damage is kind of like hard to resist unless you end up slapping 2 rock types on your team. But I don't know how you can fit 2 rock types on the same team. That's like kind of hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think
where my T-Tar Lycanroc stands at.
Oh, T-Tar Lycanroc. Never mind. Yeah, you can just make a T-Tar Lycanroc team. That makes sense. I love T-Tar plus the Rock Dog.
I think like one of the biggest benefits of Talon right now is that Wisp is like really, really strong in the format, but Wisp has like really bad users. Like you have to like make room for Wisp right now. And so like the biggest benefit of it over Torn is that it can run Wisp, which is just like an insanely strong move in the format. It's like
that's a good
the
shout.
format is like 80% physical or whatever.
There are so many 5 physical Mon and Flutter teams. Like, you know, Wisp is just going to get so much value. That is a good point.
What about like Wisp Flareon or something?
Ooh, honestly, Flareon's cool. I had a team that I was building around it, but we'll talk about that more when I cut San Antonio.
Ralts gets Wisp.
Ralts, okay, that is another Pokemon that.
Wait, that means Gallade gets Wisp, right?
Yeah. Ralts does evolve into Gallade.
Actually,
so.
does it? I know Gardevoir gets it. I don't know if Gallade does, honestly.
I mean, if
Well,
Ralts gets it, all the Ralts.
Yeah, if Ralts gets it, then.
Does Ralts actually get it though? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I just searched Wisp and then looked at the lowest BST Mon.
Oh.
Poor Ralts.
Yo, Will-O-Wisp Gallade? I'm pogging right now.
Dude, maybe that's what Brian had. We didn't even know.
We'll never know.
No, I actually did know. I played him in the round before he got his Gallade DQ'd. It was
The secret. Shh.
It was just
yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
It was just wide guard, stabs, trick room,
nice.
clear him or whatever. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I do think that was if we're talking about Sacramento now, I don't know if we are.
I've moved on to it, yeah.
Okay. I think that Gallade was a very, very cool innovation. I think that despite the lack of dark types, you just need a fighting type on Psyspam. That is maybe the scariest fighting type to face. And so looking at, I just think that it does solve a lot of the problems that the Psyspam had. It was a very cool spot. And I think that, you know, in this top cut match against Raghav, I think that I got to imagine that Gallade would make it a lot more scary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll never know.
I mean, you should have nicknamed your Pokemon Saraludge. So.
Yeah, unfortunate.
That's okay. Also, that people were had both sides of the debate on Twitter, but man, like it's explicitly in the rules. It's been in the rules for a long time. People are constantly getting warnings for it. Like you gotta know better than to tempt fate like that. Like,
is it really a hot take, like, to say that like you shouldn't do that just because people do keep their nicknames on? They're not supposed to, but like I would get confused for sure. Like this is why I don't even play with nicknames on in Swiss, because I just need to see what it says. Like it's silly, but like yeah, it's explicitly in the rules. It does stink that he couldn't use it at all, though.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think it's obviously troll that he nicknamed it. I think it's like really harsh that they just took the Mon away, because like you could just change the nickname in game and stuff. So like, whatever. But like, yeah, I mean, obviously, shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, if anything, like I do think that it would have been nice to have seen the Mon not get taken, but I don't feel much sympathy because this rule has been around forever. People have gotten in trouble for a very long time.
They said they didn't know the rules, so
yeah. So very unfortunate. Sorry. Yeah, honestly, respect for you to make it still that deep, even with 5 mons. Psy Spam's just like the matchup check team. It's like, do you remember me? Like, but yeah, obviously, if you can do it well, you can rise all the way to the top. But yeah, let's
No.
actually talk about these teams. What are you saying, Ali?
Oh no, I just wanted to
Oh, it's
also
Michael.
mention like, yeah, that Brian's team was like really interesting because, we were saying before that like Spam needs some sort of innovation to really, like bring it to the top. And I think I had this conversation with multiple people, but people have gotten lazy with Spam. But one of the things that I noticed that was really good about his team was that he chose to use Terra Psychic on his Armorage, which has generally been like Terra Grass. It's like the standard, but Terra Psychic is a notable power bump for Expanding Force, and it does pick up like a lot of KOs.
Mm-hmm.
And just having the Life Orb Terra Psychic Expanding Force, like I lost a game to him just because he like Terra Psychic uh Expanding Force and just killed my Mons, and like I just wasn't expecting it to kill.
Did you know that actually Assaultus Rillaboom lives one?
That
Yeah,
was pretty cool. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah. No, but that is actually such an insane damage multiplier because like my Heatran got hit with one. I think it was also single target, um, and it did like 80% basically. So yeah, that was a really cool innovation. Like I've only seen that on the weak armor versions, which are, in my opinion, pretty troll, and you shouldn't use them because I do lose often to it. But
Well, you
yeah,
only lose
also
because they never share sheet. You'll never. Honestly, I have not seen it since I've been playing on the best of 3 ladder.
don't ask me what I've lost to on the best of 3 ladder.
Oh no.
But yeah, their Shifu was cool too. It had taunt, and I also think people are kind of counting out the Ursalunas. Like I feel like there's a lot of damage there, and this format really rewards immediate damage, especially in Trick Room, and that's just hard TR, right? Um, yeah, so it's just solid stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that he went for Headlong Rush instead of Earthquake. I just feel that like people get super greedy with the Earthquake just 'cause, like, oh, it's spread damage and Trick Room and whatnot, but like it doesn't like with Rillaboom being so common in the format and like your other mons already being weak to Rillaboom, like the fact that you have to like if you were to commit Earthquake that you're like 4 of your team is just like hard losing to Rillaboom, so it's like too much.
What was the last move after Facade and Protect?
He was Sword Stance.
Oh, okay. I don't like Sword Stance.
Ooh.
Why this
I don't know
bear
about
hits
Sword
so
Stance,
hard?
but yeah.
Why the bear hits so hard? Why does it need to hit harder? I think I just run both. I like both ground moves, or maybe Crunch.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
think Crunch
I'm
is a
down.
little.
I'd be down for that. Yeah.
I thought the point of Swords Dance was that after you Swords Dance, your Earthquake kills everything, right? Like not you already killed everything with your single target moves.
Maybe your
Yeah.
Sword Stance did Headlong Rush the Sinistcha or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Is there background noise coming from my thing now?
No, you're good.
No, you're good.
Okay, cool.
You're good.
Just let me know if that changes, because I'm in my garage and some shit just started making a bunch of noise.
No, you're good. You're good. So
Alright.
yeah, actually, let's start at the top of Sacramento. We might be bouncing around a bit here. ESM did share with me the open team sheet, so even though we don't have sheets for all the teams, we do at least have Michael's team to talk about. And so yeah, ESM without like we don't have to do like a full team report or anything, but like if you want to just like talk a bit about the team, about anything in your run that you thought was notable, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry. This paste has Trick Room as the last move on Flutter made. I still haven't decided what's the best move. I just think it doesn't matter. I had Psyshock actually, but like I never clicked it, so it doesn't matter. As for the team in general, I think like the finals and the top 4 set like really highlighted what Como did because like they were just Como matchups, and I didn't really get to showcase a lot of what the other parts of the team were. But I think like the core of the team and the reason why I did what was so successful was actually like a lot to do with Hisuian, Arcanine, and T-Tar. I think a lot of people have asked me since like, oh, like what does T-Tar even do? But like realistically, what you're doing is you just lead Arcanine T-Tar, and then you just force them to do something. A lot of times I just don't click Terra, and then they lead their Landorus, and they just click U-turn into T-Tar. Something interesting I was thinking about last night actually was that like U-turn, because I'm Terra Psychic instead of like a Terra Fairy or something, it actually incentivizes people to click U-turn because they feel like it's a safer play into T-Tar.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, because stomping into Arcanine can be stopped by the Terra, and then like if you're stomping the T-Tar, then it can Terra as well. So like U-turn just feels like I'm guaranteed to do 50%. But then like it's kind of a bait move because like you're clicking U-turn, so you're just really not getting that much out of the turn. And then I can click whatever I want from that spot.
I just want to say the knockoff is just an amazing move, and T-Tar getting that makes it super threatening.
Yeah, I think knockoff is like the biggest reason why T-Tar is good in this format, in my opinion, because um, the move is just broken. Like it can do so many things. The power is just insane because against Specs Flutter, you just OHKO most Specs Flutter at +0. Um, and like generally T-Tar has always been good at one thing, which is like trading damage. Like it takes like a lot of damage to kill it, and then it can always deal damage back. And then pairing it with Hisui and Arcanine just makes a lot of sense because Arcanine has Intimidate, and then it's a Rock type, so both mons in your field are getting reduced physical from Intimidate, and then they're both getting a special defense boost from Sand. And then pairing it with Howl and Wisp, like I was saying before, but Wisp is a really strong move in the current format. And in my opinion, Arcanine is the best user of it because it's fast, so it can actually outspeed a lot of the mons that want to, and Wisp it before they can attack. And then it can also just like pair it well with Intimidate, so that even though it's like subpar defensive typing, it's actually able to like take a lot of hits because of its natural high bulk, alongside the multipliers of Intimidate, Sand, Wisp, that kind of stuff. And then Howl was also like a big part of the team, especially with the Rilla mode. So a lot of my games throughout the course of Swiss were using the 4 mons of Komo, Tyranitar, Rillaboom, and Arcanine, which are like the core 4 of the team in most of my matchups. And being able to Howl with either T-Tar or Rillaboom is like a big win condition as well for the team. And just force the opponent to make play like really around those threats a lot, and they have to commit a lot of resources to either dealing with the T-Tar or dealing with the Rillaboom, and then eventually Como can clean up in the back. Um, and like Rillaboom is like the Pokemon that impressed me probably the most throughout the course of the tournament, alongside Iron Bundle, who was like kind of a last minute addition, but Rillaboom was like just good throughout the entire tournament because it's extremely powerful. Like Terra Grass Grassy Glide at +0 OHKO's most Flutter mains. Like unless you're really really bulky, you have to be like investing like over 300 400 points in bulk for it to not die to Grassy Glide. And then +1 would hammer OHKO's most Iron Hands as well. Although that didn't end up coming up much during the tournament, but like it just like shows how much power Rillaboom has. And then Taunt was to help with Amoonguss matchups and Trick Room mostly. Um, and so I think like all of those those mods all work together really well. Like I had talked about it a little bit on stream yesterday, but basically like Tyranitar and Komo together are really good because they complement each other's weaknesses well. Like the Komo can deal with the Iron Hands, the Landorus, and the other things. Like if you bring all of these Pokemon that are good into T-Tar, then Komo is just going to set up and then you're going to lose because you just brought 3 mons that can't touch Komo. Like if you brought a like Chanpao, Ogerpon, Iron Hands, and Landorus, like you just lost on preview because like none of those mons can beat Komo once you get a +2. And then the vice versa is also true, where Komo can't deal that well with ghost types, but Tyranitar can pressure them really hard with knockoff, and so like especially with the Hisui and Arcanine and Tyranitar combo, that deals well with like Fluttermane and Chiyu and like generally special attackers. So that's like basically the rundown of the team. Um, I felt like I got relatively lucky in matchups because there were some matchups coming into the tournament that I knew were going to be tough, but I didn't know that they were going to be low usage mons. So Pokemon like Golden Go, Okidogi, uh,
Sinistcha.
Weezing to an extent, Sinistcha especially. Um, those were mons that I was like scared of, but I didn't play a single Okidogi or Golden Go the entire weekend. And also like the one mon that I was somewhat scared of actually end up playing a lot was Terra Fury Heatran. And I had a really uphill battle against Rogov's team, who had a really bulky variant of it. So yeah.
Just a lot of friendship EVs.
True. Yeah, and I know that you guys ended up playing twice. Raghav took the first in day 2 of
Yeah,
Swiss.
that's a really good, that's a really in-depth recap of the team. I think that
Go ahead. Is he gone?
Is he gone?
He muted.
He just muted. I think that was the end of his thoughts, to be honest.
He's
Muted.
But to add on what Ali was saying, yeah, that was actually really good analysis. I just want to say that like my team analysis is gonna be a lot worse.
back.
Are you good, Adi?
Yeah, I think my internet's cutting out for like 5-10 seconds at a time for some reason. But
It's not to us though. You just stop talking.
no, I could hear you guys like stuttering and stuff.
That might be like a lag thing, because like, yeah, you'll just be like, yeah, that was a really good analysis, but I'm gonna keep.
And then you just do it.
You just stop.
Yeah, okay. Because I could hear like 2 of you talking, but like it was stuttering, and I was like, oh, so like, are they talking? But clearly, you guys had like apparently finished your thought by the time I got through. So, anyways, I don't know what's going on. I'm doing my best, but I appreciate the breakdown, because I think, yeah, especially the way that T-Tar and Kamoa cover each other, where T-Tar is so good into all the special attackers in this metagame. And Kamoa just bodies all the physical attackers. It's just a really cool dynamic, and obviously you built a really strong team around it.
Yeah, I think the tough matchups, I guess. So basically, like, the dynamic of the team in a lot of ways is that like Komo like against most like what I would call standard teams, you need to have something that can threaten Komo before it terras and after it terras. So examples of things that can threaten it before terras are obviously like Fluttermane, but also stuff like Torn. And then the ones that can threaten it after terra are stuff like Heatran or Chanpao, like those types of Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
A Pokemon like Iron Hands doesn't threaten it before Terra or after Terra. You get Terra Steel, like it says super effective, but it doesn't do actual damage, so it doesn't really matter. Or like same with Landorus, where like it can technically hit it super effectively before Terra and after Terra, but it just doesn't do enough damage that it actually makes an impactful difference. Because like there were people in during the regional who tried like, oh, I'm gonna Terra Flying Terra Blast you on turn 1, and like I'm gonna Terra Flying Terra Blast and Ivy Cudgel you with Fire Ogerpon, and I have you pinned. But then I just switch an Arcanine, I just tank the hits, I get +2, and then I have Rilla healing, and then I'm just out healing your damage, and then you just lost the game on turn 1. So, like,
Arc is also just a great switch into those 2 combination of moves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the team has 3 4x weaknesses for. Actually, wait, Arcanine's got 2 4x weaknesses, huh? So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting team from that perspective. I think it's also a cool story for me because like before the region or before even like the format began, I remember like I was talking with Alex about this, like, coming into this. I like building cool teams and stuff, so I wanted to see like, what were the new Pokemon that were gonna come out in Reg E or like as part of the DLC. And I think the one that stood out to me the most was Como, because like I've been using Como, like I used it in Gen 7, I used it in Gen 8, and so like seeing it come back, like it was a natural Pokemon for me to pick up. And I just think like Iron Defense Body Press has always been like really strong as like a concept. And I think like the fact that it has Stab on it is something that is sets it apart from Hisui and Gudra, just because like it's so much better than Gudra. Like it's like I can't state how much better it is than Gudra, because like people were like trying Gudra before and we're saying like, oh, it's like not bad, but like Como is just like so much better because it has higher defense stat, it has the fighting stab, and also the fact that it's it's pre Terra type has like a more impactful set of resistances is actually really relevant, because even though it does have a 4x fairy weakness, which you would think is really debilitating, it actually doesn't come up as much as it like you would think it would, because in the matchups that it does come up, you can Terra. So it's like
one thing that I think Como does is it has a much quicker turnaround time than any other Iron Defense Body Press Pokemon because of that stab. And you can just get up a single body or single Iron Defense and then start doing meaningful damage if you need to take out a threat from one of your other Pokemon to win the game. And I think that's a really cool thing about Como that you know, a Hisuian Gudra or something of the like can't quite do the same. I know that I don't think you've mentioned it yet, but if people were running just like a 252 Ogerpon without really any bulk, the +2 Iron Defense body press will a one-shot Ogerpon, which is pretty funny.
It one-shots?
Yes.
Yeah, Glass Ogerpon dies in one hit. Yeah.
Dude, okay, yeah, it's not even close. Why you don't even have to bring up Gudra? Gudra's trash, like compared to this. Like this, 125 is a real stat. Like hand stab. Its damage was scary even with my Fairy Heatran like behind Veil. Like if I ever got it up, it was still doing like way too much. After I don't know, you get more than one body Iron Defense off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think like one of the big breakpoints throughout the weekend is also like if you can start hitting like +4s. So +2 is notable for Ogerpon. So if they try to like do something cheeky, I caught some people a few times with this where they would try to like Swords Dance in front of it and then you just die. But if you get to +4, it starts OHKOing stuff like Rilla, and then at +6 you OHKO Iron Hands. So yeah, I mean that's like literally for fun at that point, but you can do it.
How many Iron Defenses do you need to kill Flutter?
Very fun.
0, because you click Iron Head and it one shot. So
Okay.
The Terra Steel Iron Head.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, we might be jumping back around to talk about some of the other stuff about your run and your team ESM, but let's move on to talking about Raghav's team. Bax Money here. We've got the Snow team. I always want to call it a Hail team. From Raghav. You knew pretty early you were going to be using something close to this. Why don't you tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, I mean, pretty early on, I really liked how Ninetales Heatran was just playing. I think Heatran, the team felt even better, you know, before. Just Heatran just felt like unkillable. It felt like the best mon in the format. Like, it's just such a tank. Magma Storm when you hit is so broken. And it has a lot of fun Pokemon. Like I do like Lefty's grassy terrain stuff. For a while I was Thermal Exchange backs, and then I think I posted a paste with Thermal Exchange, and Alex said, "Oh yeah, I love Ice Body backs," and then I changed it like immediately. And after that, I was like, okay, the healing is super sick. But to break it down a little, it's a lot of standard Pokemon with Landorus and Heatran and Ogerpon Water. Landorus is one of the best mons in the format. Scarf, U-turn, you know, just a standard set. For Heatran, I was testing Flash Cannon before I put Heat Wave on, but I really liked having like a consistent fire move to hit and spread damage. You know, if I didn't have Heat Wave, I think it would be even harder versus like ESM's team because I do want to be able to just Heat Wave in front of Bundle or something, you know? Like I don't want to have to rely on Magma Storm. So yeah, it was really, really nice having two fire moves. Earth Power is essential. Bax is like the sick mon. I did not really make like super in-depth spreads for this. I kind of just used the slider, and it was really fast, so it could, you know, take advantage of scale shot boosts. But yeah, I mean, it added a little bit more offense to the team because it kind of needs it. Otherwise, you're really dependent on hitting Magma Storm and just outbulking your opponent. You need to have like a threat. And then yeah, Rillaboom's kind of your normal set. Ninetales had Blizzard for the longest time, but it's really only good for like fishing for freezes. Icy Wind made it a lot more dynamic. It changed up a lot. Like Icy Winding in front of other Heatrans. After you Icy Wind, you outspeed Flutter. You could Icy Wind again. Like it was a really nice form of speed control on the team. And overall, I would bring Heatran to almost every match and almost always Terra it unless it's, you know, Bax's time. but usually those two are the ones that Terra. Sometimes Ogerpon. I think I Terra'd Landorus once. It used to be Terra Water Rock Tomb, but I think just the flying coverage is just so broken this format. Yeah, is there anything else I should talk about the team?
I don't really have any questions looking at it because a lot of the choices are pretty typical. I do think that like even if you're not clicking Terraflying Terrablast, it's a nice threat to have.
Yeah.
You know, people might mess up. They might, protect in situations where you're getting off a free U-turn just to scout the Terra, and that's really nice. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it threatens Amoonguss as well, and it like it's like a one shot onto Flutter, right? When I was running Rock Tomb, like I can stomping it, but it's not the same amount of damage. I'm also like always paranoid about Amoonguss, so having another offensive threat into it, two grass types and grass type follow me was like important to me. Just because I will never disrespect that mushroom. But yeah, that's like
It.
yeah, it worked out.
The main thing that stands out besides the backs is that Magma Storm. Magma Storm is a very cool move. Tom Hayden was asking what was your accuracy? How good do you think you were doing?
Honestly, it was probably about 75%. Like it missed quite a few times, but it also hit a lot. I think like the cool part about this team is that it's very forgiving. Like you can miss one or two Magma Storms, you just have to hit one eventually, and when you do, oh my god, they're trapped in. It's so funny trapping in an Iron Hands. Like it's just a useless Pokemon after that. Heavy Slam does nothing. Yeah, and Magma Storming like a Terra Fairy Fluttermane's cool too, because then they can't switch out and you can just glide it or something. There's a lot of really cool, like, it just makes a lot of matchups so much harder for the opponent because pivoting is obviously like a huge part of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was always skeptical about it because missing your move sucks, but to be honest, I just haven't really given a fuck, like, since Worlds. And I kind of came into it with a really calm mindset, just trying to have fun, but I mean, I love Pokemon. I'm a very good player, so I felt like, okay, I'm having fun. I'm comfortable with this team. Well, let's just see how it goes.
I think the important things to note about Magma Storm there are, one, you said your team gives you the chance to miss it. You've got a lot of bulky things, whether you're setting up an Aurora Veil or healing every turn with grassy terrain and leftovers or getting off an Intimidate. Heatran's going to get more opportunities to click Magma Storm than a more offensive team. And so, you could afford to miss one or two. And then, the other thing is having a team that can punish on those traps. The trap is so cool, and so whether it's locking in a Pokemon to make it useless, like you mentioned with Iron Hands, or locking in something to take a quick KO, like that Fluttermane example. You can't do that with other moves on Heatran is the main thing.
Yeah, and a lot of, actually a scenario that got into a lot was Magma Storming a Pokemon, and then setting up for like a scale shot before the threat comes in, so you outspeed it when it comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really cool, and it was just really, really fun team when you hit your Magma Storm.
I know ESM was a big fan of dice backs as soon as things were announced. That was probably the main other thing that you were looking into besides Como. Like, I don't know how much you actually ended up testing it, but
I didn't end up testing backs much, but it is something I'm looking at for San Antonio for sure.
Mm-hmm. Dice
it's just one of my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah.
Rago, would you have made any changes going back now that you've played with the team a little more?
No, I don't think so. Maybe work on the spreads a little more in depth because, like I said, I didn't really put too much effort into it. Just kind of did the sliders. I had a lot of other stuff going on in my personal life, but feel like I can make like a decent EV spread really fast. So yeah, I'd refine the spreads more. But I want to say some of the weaker matchups of this team are like kind of popular teams, like the team that James Beck used to win his regional was pretty annoying just because Rain Dance plus Urshifu is always annoying, and then on top of that you have the Golden Go. So you have to play very carefully, and speed stats are super important there. So like Timid Goldie is kind of an issue because backs cannot outspeed it. I'm running, I'm not running jolly backs, so yeah, it's kind of tough if they have like a really well played golden go with rain dance and stuff like that. I did play a couple, but I managed to outplay them. But it was pretty hard, and you cannot miss your magma storms in that matchup.
Yeah, I also want to say that James Beck's team was like really hard for my team as well. Which is funny. I just like didn't play any the entire weekend. I did play a couple on BO3 ladder before, and it does depend on what golden go they're using, because I saw some on ladder that were timid with life orb.
Yeah, that was even harder.
Yeah, that made it the matchup for me like almost impossible. But if they were just like slow and bulky with like leftovers, then it's like not that hard, because I can just like a lot of times my T-Tar can just outspeed it and kill it. But it kind of just depends on the spread. Um, but yeah, that was a hard matchup for me as well. I just didn't end up playing it.
And I tried solving it like a little before. Like I tried changing the backs and Rilla slots, but it really wasn't quite there. And so I just went back with comfort. Also, I just really wanted to use Bax Caliber, so
Bax money.
Yeah, it worked out.
Let's go.
Bax money.
Yeah.
I'm trying to reflect on like the tournament itself, if I had any like really crazy matches or anything. I think for the most part they were all good. Unfortunately, most of my losses were televised. So you can see where the team doesn't work, or where I play bad, or where I get unlucky. But it felt really good to finally make day 2 at a regional with this new day 2 Swiss format. And yeah, the open sheet is just so nice. Like I really don't know what else to say about the tournament.
Yeah, it is kind of funny, like thinking about that you hadn't made day 2 at one of these tournaments now that the system is switched over. Like apparently that was the case for James Beck. I did not realize with how much success James has had at like the international and worlds level that he hadn't cut a regional in like 5 years or whatever he said when he won. So
he hadn't won a regional in 5 years, right? He won Toronto 2018. He's definitely cut a regional.
He also won.
I think he said he hadn't cut
something in 2019, I thought.
He definitely he won Daytona 2019 too. So he's definitely cut regional since less than 5 years.
I don't know. He had some kind of tweet like that, and I was like, wait, really? Anyways, speaking of though, things that the team loses to, ESM, you get farmed by Sinistra and Zorak Hisui.
Yeah, ghost types in general. Well, okay, so I guess like I didn't really talk that much about my actual run. So round 1, I come in and I get matched against like a friend of mine from San Diego who is running like the most jank team. It's he always runs like
I fought him round 2.
Like, right, exactly. And I like if you think my teams are jank, like his teams are even more jank. So you can take that as a comparison point. But he was running Hisui and Zoroark, like it was Ogre Pawn, Ursulina Blood Moon, Fluttermane. But basically the team was built around Zoroark's illusion, so none of the abilities would trigger, so that it wouldn't give away the Zoroark on turn 1. And basically it ended up going to a game 3 where I lost on, like I didn't read his team sheet and missed the fact that he was Terrafire on his Fluttermane, and I lost basically off of that because I went for a Terra Grassy Glide into it and it resisted and it lived. So then after round 1, I just run the entire gauntlet. I win every match 2-0 from rounds 2 to 8. Granted, I didn't play that many notable players. There were some like matches where I had like relatively bad matchup, but like my opponent clearly had like a bad understanding of the matchup, since like they had like a Sinistral and they just like didn't click Trick Room versus me, even though they could have just clicked Trick Room and like made it really hard for me. And like their Sinistral literally like there was a I remember there was specifically one which was like super egregious where they led like Sinistral and like Sinistral and something else, and then they Terra fired their I think it was Iron Hands, and then they Terra fired their Sinistral on turn 1 and clicked Strength Tap into my Arcanine. As I just whisked their hands and whatever, and then like they basically like they made like the worst possible play.
Right.
Which was just like really weird.
So yeah, I know that your two losses were just that round one and then
Right.
Ragov and Swiss on the second day. Um, and then
And
go ahead.
yeah. Oh no. So yeah. So then like I did play some other like in day two it's like much tougher, of course.
Yeah.
And like people made adjustments and whatnot. Except for like actually finals was the one that was like the easiest matchup for me because his team just literally just didn't have any answers. Like I had one on turn one in both of those games. Um, so I just got really lucky that I had dodged a lot of my tough matchups, except for Ragov, whose team was like a huge uphill battle for me. But I just got like really lucky with it within that set.
It
So
was it was super funny because we were backstage when the other match was playing, and we were talking about like our matchups versus the finals team, and ESM was like, "Yeah, but I'm not even gonna make it. Like, I'm convinced like you'll win." And I'm like, "Dude, don't speak so soon, please. Like, anything's possible."
I
Our
kept
Swiss round was kind of close. Like,
I was sitting across from ESM and he was dooming pretty bad, and so I just kept saying like, yeah, congrats on top four, man. Like it was good, you know. That's cool. Good job. Like you know, fist bump. Like top four is really nice. Yeah.
but yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, I mean sometimes Pokemon got your back a little bit. So
and
I
I'm
know
not even mad just because your team is so fire. Like, I'm okay with that winning. That's so sick.
And yeah, like I think when we were backstage, we were also talking because you were like thinking about the like Riley matchup after you won for a little bit, and just like thinking what you could do versus him. And I like looked at his team and I was like, yeah, like if I play it, I'm gonna win. So
Yeah.
that's what ended up happening.
Yeah, I feel like my matchup would have been fine. Like I think it looks good, but Riley's so good, and if it's playable, he'll make it really hard. And I feel like I wasn't also playing my sharpest, but we'll never know
We'll
how
Yeah.
never
that would have
know
gone. Hmm.
until next time
No,
when you fight Riley at your next event.
At Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto.
Yep.
Yeah, I also had gotten notes from Donald who had played him in Swiss with like what he did, and so like I basically was just like, yeah, like I'm just gonna read you on turn one, and
Mm-hmm. Donald
Yeah.
Donald effectively baited because Donald lost
yeah,
to Riley, and Riley was probably going in a little confident, like I know how to beat this Como team, but he doesn't know how to beat the master behind the team. All right. Do you guys want to hear about Wheezing? Should I talk a little bit about Wheezing or no?
You should. You
yeah,
should.
yeah. You should.
I'm ninth place, so you know, top nine. Not quite like my earlier ninth place this season where I got ninth like in a perfect cut in Oceania. But this one I did just bubble out. I guess I did have a weaker schedule. The main fault is I didn't play Andrew Ding, who I think I would have beaten. Let the record reflect. I would have beaten Ding. I think I could have done
I
it.
would have beaten Ding.
He would have beaten Ding too. Neither of us played Ding.
I would have
but,
beaten Ding.
Did you play Ding?
I
or
would
no?
have beaten Ding.
I lost on stream to Andrew.
Oh no. I played Neil, who was running the same team, and I did come out on top of that one, so maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, the team is so this team I built it around Fluttermane. It was a Pokemon that I thought was really underexplored. And I thought that like, you know, how like what does Fluttermane do best? You know, it hits things really hard, but you know, it really punishes the dragon types, and so I was able to use Pokemon that couldn't hit dragons really well, and so like I was like, well, fire water grass, that does really well into teams that are dragons that, yes. Anyway, the team has the broken fire water grass core on offense teams. A lot of people were talking about Kyle's team. Kyle got featured twice on stream in day one, and didn't quite make it onto the next day of competition. But his team, what I was saying, like, you know, separated our two teams was Kyle had a lot more of the defensive pieces, whereas mine had a lot more aggressive offensive pieces. I have the Ogerpon Fire. Kyle had Ogerpon Water, which did have Sword Stance, I believe, but and then Lando, Iron Hands, and the Roaring Moon was also different acrobatics versus I have Breaking Swipe knockoff and stuff. I think we both probably had knock, but yeah, somebody's glad to see Flutter's finally getting its time to shine. Anyway, so yeah, the team was built around Wheezing and Roaring Moon. They are such a strong combo together, and you can like just Terra Roaring Moon in most games, which is really nice. Poison types are not being punished very hard right now. Lando's Stomping Tantrum is the best thing in the game for punishing it. You could say there's like Psychic Terrain, like Psy Spam teams, but they don't get up Psychic Surge against Wheezing. And anyways, I also just don't have to Terra Roaring Moon against those teams. So yeah, people just like can't kind of break that core fast enough, and so I get off a lot of knockoffs, a lot of wisps, just gunk shots, and I start the game really ahead before bringing in, you know, the final two whatever I want to beat their whole team. You know, double grass to spam Grassy Glide, or you know, again, Fluttermane hitting anything that resists Fire, Water, Grass like a dragon type. Because I did say, I said it a couple times on the podcast, it's the time of dragons. You know, there's Ogerpon everywhere. It's time to use dragons. Raghav had Bax, ESM had Como, I've got Roaring Moon. I think it's and Riley had Dragonite. Like, I think dragons are thriving right now, despite Fluttermane. And so getting a dragon on your team is just really nice. Kind of similar to how ESM was very much targeting the physical meta, this team also targets the very physical meta. It's got Will-O-Wisp on Wheezing, which again, we were talking about being a hard move to fit on teams, but Wheezing just is blessed with that in its move pool. And then Breaking Swipe also keeps physical Pokemon at bay. You can even just like spam that into King Gambit, which is very fun. You know, it doesn't get the Defiant boost if Wheezing's next to it. So I did that a lot in my matchup against Gavin. Where, you know, it's swords dancing, but I'm just putting it back down as fast as it goes by clicking Breaking Swipe twice. And yeah, other than that, I mean, the team isn't as linear as I might have made it sound. There was my one stream set with Geo where I was leading Grass Spam and Wheezing in the back. You know, it's got a lot of flexibility because you are just using some of the best Pokemon in the format. You know, like I have Wheezing and Moon, which didn't make the top 12 graphic, but everything else here is definitely in that top 12 graphic. So just strong offense, you know. I think that this was just using Fire, Water, Grass offense, dragons because they're busted, and Fluttermane because it punishes dragons. And then Wheezing because it's awesome.
I kind of want to add about my team analysis now that you mentioned, like, how you both were targeting the physical meta. Is like, okay, yeah, I have Veils and Lando, but like the snow boost was so nice for Ninetales and Bax. So yeah, just that, like, having enough for like the physical meta is really important to your team if you're not just overpowering it and trying to trade damage.
Yeah, I forgot Snow is just another way to keep physical Pokemon at bay. That's awesome. And man, Bax can take just like so little damage from like a physical attack if you get Veil up and Snow. Like, the guy is just chilling.
And it's healing. Like,
yeah.
Surging Strikes, who? What? The Veil really helps there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snow Snow is like one of the only ways that you can actually reduce Urshifu's damage, which is like really cool.
Mm-hmm. And Will-O-Wisp.
And Will-O-Wisp.
And killing it.
And killing it. That's another good one too.
I mean, Rillaboom, yeah.
But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about my team. Little bit bummed to get 9th, but that's whatever. I like walked away from the tournament annoyed that I got 9th, but at the same time, like, it's weird because I didn't lose a win in, and I didn't lose a cut set. So I got it left, like, nobody beat me. The system beat me, man. Like, I just, like, you know, like, I did take 3 Ls, yes. But, like, 3 Ls was enough for, like, you know, most of the people in cut. I don't actually know what the ratio was. I could go back to the Sacramento page.
I think it's just 2 people who weren't 11-3, right?
Yeah, 6 people were X2 or X3. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was X2 and Ding was like undefeated.
Yeah, we have to definitely go back and talk about that.
You were the one X3 that missed cut.
Yep.
This tournament, which is especially tragic because I remember looking at the resistances going into the last round, and you were like the 4th or 5th lowest among all the people who were playing win-ins. Like, there had to be like I think it had to be like the 3 specific people below you all had to lose their win-ins for you to miscut, which was I mean one by one it happened, which is really unfortunate, but yeah, it was tragic.
But like I said, I walked away just kind of like it was annoying. I was pretty pissed, but like at the same time, it's just like I didn't lose my last round. I didn't lose a cut set. It's just like, damn. Okay, I don't know.
Okay, especially since your last round, if I recall correctly, was against Ability Shield Tatsugiri. At which point I just written it off. I was like, "There's no shot. Isn't that meant to beat your team?"
How did they lose to Weezing, bro? How? I honestly, I didn't want to talk shit to Lexar's face, bro. How did those guys with Ability Shield Tots lose to Weezing? Come on. Come
They
on.
were playing minus item Tatsu, but it was even worse because it was taking extra damage from knockoff.
It was no item all day, except for the matchup that it ran into, and it lost the matchup. Come on, man.
Because you got Breaking Swipe and Wisp and all that. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, to actually like break down the matchup very simply, those were part of it. But the funny thing is actually just their Dozo set, which I probably won't be able to get away with again, because they're probably going to drop sub. But they're order up EQ, sub, protect, and they cannot hit Flutter Main in grassy terrain. That's the simple truth of it. So I'm like, you can set up your Dozo, that's fine. I'm gonna, as soon as that comes in, I pivot to those two, and I click Moonblast Grassy Glide until the Dozo's dead. And they're Terra Dragon, so they can't Terra to resist that. That was how all 3 games went. I lost the first one to a gunk shot miss, and then I just did the same game plan, game 2 and 3 and 1. It was funny.
That's also how I won, where I just set up Grassy Terrain and then Terra'd Heatran, and then they could not break Ninetales Heatran, and it went down to time, but like, yeah, I won 4-3 because there's nothing you can do.
I actually saw your set against, was it Lexar, right? Just literally
it was Lexar.
Going forever. I was just like, this is still going. I was like, I actually remember because I had to go to the bathroom, but all the bathrooms like had really long lines, and so I went to one, came back, and I was like, they're still going. I can go to another one, and then I came back, and I was like, it's a roundup, and they're like, no, they're still playing, and I was like, all right, let's find the third bathroom. And I had time because Raghav was still clicking. I mean, grassy terrain, leftovers.
That's not my fault.
Magma Storm. It's always the Dozo players' fault. Those guys, they don't get any sympathy from me. Those guys are literally playing solitaire. Like, go, play Yu-Gi-Oh or something, some other lame game.
True.
And yeah, so I guess let's talk about some of the other teams in the cut here. We'll start with Riley. Riley, who's been on fire. I honestly think Riley is running like the same thing as Peoria. I don't even know if much at all changed.
He changed something.
He changed his gambit from, I think it was Fairy with Pinchberry to Dreadplate with Dragon Terra.
That's it.
Does he?
Did he have
SD on it?
Did he have SD in Peoria? Because he had Ironhead this tournament.
He had Ironhead in Peoria. Ironhead in Peoria.
Then yeah, I don't know if he changed anything else.
I think it's the same exact team.
It would make sense for Riley to roll up with the Urshifu was Poison Terra this time around. Okay, that sounds right. It probably would have stood out to me if it was Poison last time, but it makes sense to back-to-back regionals, if you're attending both, to just stick with what you've been practicing, because you just got so much live event practice, and I don't think people are going to be able to like completely come up with something that dismisses Riley's team, and especially at Riley's skill level right now, he might just diff you anyway if you try to beat his team. He's clearly very experienced, the number one for a reason right now. Not much to say about the team except that it's all physical Pokemon, doesn't even have a special attacker to round it all out.
Amoonguss.
But it has Amoonguss. Amoonguss has Pollen Puff. We've been talking about this.
And Grass Knot.
It does have Grass. Yeah. Fair enough. It's a special attacker. now.
Yeah.
I think it needs to run Sludge Bomb. That's what me and ESM kept saying all weekend.
That would make a lot of sense, actually. Sludge Bomb's really good in the meta right now.
Yeah.
Wow. I think person with bulletproof combo saying you should run Sludge Bomb. Can't believe it.
I think, honestly, it sounds silly, but like both POW and D-Knight are just like really good in the meta, and I think they are used a little less ever since we got like the new Pokemon. like the AVD Knight's really cool. I saw Aerial Ace really put in some work. Flank coverage is just so good.
It is.
Yeah, and then POW is just like, yeah, you got 5 physical mons. It's gonna change your calcs.
Tom, to answer your question, what's an example of a player catching absolute fire like Riley has this season? Like to start the
Tang.
season, I think. Who did you say, Rocco?
Justin Tang.
Well, yeah, Tang definitely started off 2023. You know, we started in January, so I feel like that's actually a good shout. I was thinking, you know, players that did well in the fall, but this season did start January. I was thinking like
Emilio also, right? He had 2 regionals back to back or undefeated, right? And
that's true.
Did obviously didn't convert, but he also had a crazy start. Wolf had a crazy start, cutting 2 regionals.
I was
3
thinking
regionals
back in the day, like one of the seasons, Ashton got his Worlds invite by like I don't know, like November or something, and it wasn't like a low bar. I thought, like, you know, maybe it was, but I remember Ashton had a very crazy start to a season.
Omari had his
I think-
crazy run too.
Yeah, if you're a boomer.
There's someone
I
in
think-
chat just messaged.
I know, I saw somebody in
mentioned it.
chat say it, and I'm still saying if you're a boomer.
Fine.
I think Alberto's post Worlds 2017. It's not exactly the same because it's post Worlds, and so it's a
Oh, I think he did.
it's a
actually do
format that
pretty
already
well, huh?
existed. But he I remember he went insane in the post Worlds period. I think he won a regional. He top cut like three more regionals in a row. He'd cut like 4-star regionals at that point. Yeah, you know, he had a crazy
Got second to
run
Eevee,
of
I'm pretty
tournaments.
sure.
And a
though,
great
so,
2018.
Yeah.
Nails early 2017 as well was just maybe the best player in the world for 3 months. The start of 2017 format, I think.
Ray Rizzo
another guy.
2014. I don't know what Ray did in 14.
I mean, he won 2 regionals, got top 8 at Nats, and then just like didn't take World seriously.
Yeah. We're just trying to talk like early though, like not like as far as Nats, because that's obviously yet to come.
Yeah, I mean, I got in 2017, I got back-to-back top 4 regionals, so
Okay.
I was
Okay.
on fire.
In seniors, right?
Hey man,
No,
got-
man, it's my first year in
I-
Masters.
I will constantly say that I have cut back to back regionals
Day 2
across
doesn't
the
count.
2022
Day 2 doesn't count.
2023
Day 2 doesn't
seasons.
count. Day 2 doesn't count.
No, not day 2.
Day 2 doesn't count.
I cut Vancouver, then I cut San Diego, then I cut Orlando.
Oh, there's like some. I remember there was like a stipulation in this. There's like you gotta like.
Yeah. Well, 1, there were top 32 cuts, and 2, this was between 2022, and then I bombed Nats, and then I bombed Worlds, and then I then cut 2 regionals in a row after that. So not 3 tournaments in a row.
But there's no
I have cut the regionals in a row.
Yep.
Yep.
Anyways, Shane's team. Shane got 4th, and I believe Shane was like new to Top Cut. I think Shane was saying like first time getting past top 64.
64. Yeah, that's what he said.
So that's pretty awesome. You know, shout out to Shane for making a deep run. Could have been the next Justin Tang. You know, just making such a deep run. The team I don't have a ton of information on, but it does just look kind of like a Tailwind team with good mons. You know, I mean, I don't know what type of Urshifu it was. If anybody, oh, it does say Rapid.
I played Shane. It was Mystic Water, and yeah, the Tornad Rain Dance, so you can do all of that.
Did it also have Sunny
And
Day?
the
or no?
Arcanine. What's up?
Did it also have Sunny Day or no? I'm curious.
No, I did not have Sunny Day.
Mm.
But the Arc was like 4 speed. It didn't have any speed. It was choice band, and he set up Tailwind, and Riley's Scarf for Shifu still outsped it.
I remember
Yeah,
people
I
talking
remember
about
that.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Brutal.
I don't remember much else, but yeah, it's just like a strong Tailwind team.
Yeah,
The
I'm
dogs
actually
won.
kind of curious to see his other matches because, like, the game I played against him and the game he played on stream, I feel like didn't really showcase, like, really like what his team did well over other stuff. So I would be curious to watch, like, obviously, like it's not possible, but I'm saying like his
Yeah.
top 8 set and stuff to see like where his team really shined. I mean, it is like standard good mon stuff, but like for somebody who like just made their first cut and finished top 4, it is kind of interesting to see like a somewhat standard team, and then he just kind of just get waxed in top 4, which was unfortunate.
We don't have the rest of the teams yet, and I bet there's another Chi-Yu in top 16 or something, but it is the only Chi-Yu in top 8. You know, Chi-Yu I think had a better showing last weekend, though I don't know if it made the top 2 or anything.
Well,
but
do you want to scroll down to the overall usage statistics where we can talk more about Chi-Yu's precipitous drop-off?
oh yes, it did. Yeah,
it
it was like one of the Pokemon to fall out and make room for Dragonite. I don't think anybody else jumped in, right?
No, I think it was just that.
Yeah, I think other things just shifted around, but
That's weird.
Chi-Yu fell out, Dragonite came in. I do think that is weird, Raghav. Like, there's no other Dragonites in top 8 besides Riley, so,
Yeah.
like, there's just a bunch in day 2 somewhere, just hiding there.
It's probably, I mean, E-Speed guys, right? Like, Riley's being AV was, like, kind of weird to me. Maybe that's why I'm making that association. But, like, D-Night Pow is, like, you know, a fan favorite.
How many...
Well, I wouldn't say favorite. I hate it, but...
How many people made day 2? How many people made day 2? What was the number?
It was
36.
36 or 37?
36.
36 exactly, so 16 point... It's
Yeah.
probably 16.6 repeated. That's how many Dragonites, Audie? Tell me right now.
6.
6 Dragonites?
I was gonna say that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Raghav. Yeah, so 6 Dragonites, so... Okay, that's like... That doesn't sound like an absurd amount, I guess, when I think about it.
Oh yeah, that's another thing about Shane's team that was mentioned in chat. Like the helmet torn with Terra Ghost makes it super annoying because you really don't want to Surging Strikes it for all that helmet damage, and then yeah, it's just kind of hard to kill. It seemed like he led Torn Arc a lot and just tried to get like as much damage as they could with the Arc, and then kind of clean up from there.
Okay.
He
yeah,
did really like to Terra Ghost his Torn, is what I've noticed.
Yeah, that was not good from stream. No, that was not good. All right, I think Ding also had helmet torn. Maybe not the
Yeah.
Terra Ghost.
Yeah,
Terra
yeah.
Steel instead, actually.
It was very heavy in Spadef though, not I think.
Interesting. Yeah. So, Ding, first player to 14-0, and then also the first player to 14-1. You know, shout outs to the Scorigami from Ding. Yeah, so silly. I mean, like, it's awesome that he got 14-0. He should get some kind of, like, cool, like, accomplishment trophy from Pokemon for it, but there is really no reason to go 14-0. Unfortunately, that's just kind of, like, how the system works. Not that, like, I don't know. Here's my thing, Adi. All right, here's my hot take. If you go 14-0, you should get to pick your top 8 opponent.
You know, I think Inosh has been talking about that should be the structure of top cut for a while.
Just pick.
I kind of agree. Like, it first seed picks, and then second seed picks, and then third seed picks, and then fourth seed
So
picks.
Interesting.
my fear is that then surely you have to give them all the team sheets ahead of time, right? Or else it's just like, how good is your network to be able to know that? And that's a whole, I don't know, just like, now it just adds so much more complications. It's a fun system.
Well,
I like
to be
it
fair,
more.
you
in,
said
like,
the team should be posted like right away anyway. So just post
Honestly,
on teams.
Yeah, dude, team should be posted. Okay, I will say, at Charlotte last year, 2023, they posted teams after day 1. I think that was the first regional. No, it wasn't the first regional of the day 2 system. It was one of the first regionals for the day 2 system. And that meant that when we got pairings, my first reaction would be to like go and pull up their team sheet and have the extra 2 minutes. I didn't talk to my opponents, right? I was just like staring at their team sheet, trying to figure out what I was going to do. So like there's that one downside. But I think that they really could just do that. Yeah, if they wanted to make it pick your opponent and cut, then yeah.
I'm laughing at the message from Pokemon Ranger Emerald. Let chat decide who the 14-0 battles.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the so actually one thing that happened at the Yu-Gi-Oh! YCS less than a month ago was they said that the player who goes undefeated in Swiss, I think it was only 11 rounds, the player who goes undefeated in Swiss will get an additional prizing, including like, you know, you give us no word cash prizing, but like some amount of additional prizing.
A trip to Hawaii.
And for what it's worth, like it's not uncommon, but for an event that had never happened, I think that would have been a cool incentive. They actually streamed the I think it was the 10-0 versus 9-0-1. They had a draw match in the last round because even though they were both guaranteed top cut, they were playing for that additional prizing, and that is a incentive to get people to keep playing. Obviously, I mean, I shouldn't say obviously because like I was saying, if you're Andrew, even the stream set against Raghav, like 11-0, you're guaranteed cut. If you start out 11-0, you could scoop the next 3 rounds and you'll be fine. And there's honestly like maybe an argument that you should have done that. Get to recharge mentally, get to maybe scout some stuff out in terms of speed tiers and whatnot, or spend the next 3 rounds looking over someone's shoulder at all the other matchups, trying to get an idea of how they play. So like I don't know, like I don't know, like there's an argument that he should have done that, especially now that he lost in top 8. It's hard to justify doing that, but like the stream set thing was different. The stream set was like a whole argument about whether they should be streaming people who are locked into cut.
I was annoyed that I was even being streamed. I was just like, dude, he's in cut. Why are we doing this? I don't like my matchup. I'm about to get like destroyed on stream. And then he played like he was, in cut, like, and he didn't super care game 1, and I just got bodied, like.
That is tough.
But I do want to point out that ESM did have more wins technically, so 15-2 versus 14-1.
All right, but he did beat Bake. Bake's still the number 1 in that department, I guess.
Why is that?
Not all time, just in this one.
Did Bake win? What's all time then, Avi?
Oh, did you go 16-1 or something?
Yeah, Bake did go 13-1 into winning the tournament. So.
Oh, wow.
I think didn't Paul do that at EUIC as well?
Maybe.
Edu did go undefeated at D2 Worlds to win Worlds, which is probably one of the most impressive ones, but not quite 16 rounds.
Not being streamed though was a nice little information bonus for him.
True. I do want to point out I love all the suggestions for prizes that everyone's mentioned. A copy of Violet. Terra shards,
10 quick
balls,
10,000 LP and 10 quick balls. That's such great prizes, honestly. Yeah. Let us know, Ding, which one you want the most. Which of those sounds best to you?
You want my other incredibly base take about records? 10 championship points per win, just flat, in Swiss. So if you go 6-3, you get 60 points. Congrats, that's fine. You deserve it. If you go 7-7, then you get 70 points. That honestly, you probably don't deserve many at all because you went 7-7. You lost 5 straight rounds in day 2. But if you went, if you went 10-4, you get 100 CP. That's pretty good. If you go 10-4 and make cut, then every win and cut counts for an extra 30 championship points. Which means that if you go 14-0, and then you win 3, you actually get 230 championship points, which is a little bit of a bonus. And if you kind of sneak into cut at 10-4 and then you win the regional, you're only going to get 190 championship points. Not that bad, but still, it's like a little bit more of an incentive to keep winning, even after you've guaranteed yourself top cut. And maybe we'll remove those sort of like, I don't know what the right adjective is, but like it sucks when you're sitting across from someone and you've locked up cut and they need to play it out, and you're like, do I give them the win because I got nothing to play for? Do I like play it out of pride? Do I play it out because I want like a marginally improved my friend's odds of cutting? Do I play but like half-ass my play so that I get information that they they try hard? Like I don't know, like that just kind of removes all of it. It adds an incentive to really play it out for the rest of the tournament.
It sounds like a fun system.
No, I think that would be great. I mean, I don't think it'll happen, but I think that would be a good system. No, like I had this a similar situation come up because I was 11-2 going into the last round, and my opponent was also X2, so they were locked in, but I just didn't have any reason really to play. I ended up trying to win my match so that Alex could try to get in with Rez because I did play him in the previous round or 2 rounds ago or whatever it was.
Honestly, ESM didn't tell me that until just now. My heart.
That's just not true, but but yeah, like it just like the whole system of like once you're like locked for cut, there isn't a real reason. Like if I wasn't if Alex wasn't on my res or whatever, then I probably would have just scooped. So
Wait, no, I'm not kidding. You actually did not tell me that over the weekend.
no, did I not?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
but I appreciate it.
Hearing it now.
You were like the only one pulling through for me. Apparently, nobody else wanted to pull through on my res.
Well,
It's true. Really, this is all Donald's fault because he beat one of your opponents and then got 17, so it didn't help him. But if he had lost, then maybe you would have caught. So
true, that's also true.
you
Also, Raghav did
we'll
not
go
help. Raghav beat Gavin, and
I wanted to top good.
yeah, I know that's so shitty of you. You did this. You've always doing this to me. Always.
How selfish! Always thinking about yourself and not about your friends.
All right, let's wrap up this top 8 because we gotta talk about Lille briefly. Wait, that's me in the chat. Why am I in the chat?
What the hell is going on?
I'm actually what? Anyways,
it's Gina, right?
Yeah, it's Gina. It's Gina.
Okay.
But I actually do not remember. Geo did win. That's true. I do not remember the ESM doing this, but that's funny. Okay, Alberto's team. Alberto might have ran the same thing last weekend or something close.
I think he did.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently Californians, they're allowed to run it back at back-to-back tournaments. Although Riley's former Californian. By the way, that is the reason I didn't make cut. By the way, it was kind of fucked up. Adi, everyone in cut is from California except me.
Is that true?
What do you mean except you?
I guess that is.
Well, no, I'm not in cut. Thank you, Roger.
Except for ESM, right?
No,
Yes.
I'm from California. I have moved since, but like
He's from San Diego.
Yeah.
Okay. But like
Brian's California? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's Cali.
Yeah, Brian's
Shane.
local.
Oh, Shane's also Cali, right?
Yeah, Shane's a SoCal local as well. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, I feel like I remember that.
Yeah, so actually that is what happened. They came up to me and told me, they're like, sorry, this is Sacramento, and we have 8 Californians. There's no room for you. And I was like, wow, okay, so go home.
I am the only NorCal guy, to be fair. Technically,
Wait,
yeah, because y'all like to make it out like it's 2 states or something. I don't even know.
Are you from
Dude,
SoCal or
it's bigger
NorCal?
than your state.
I'm from
Okay.
SoCal. I'm from San Diego.
Yeah.
Okay.
Riley's actually kind of from the Bay, but then lived in LA for so long. Now he's in Florida, so there's that. And then
Ding says
Andrew also lived in the Bay for a little.
Ding says he's more NorCal than SoCal. He just said.
Well, yeah, because you got homies in the Bay, right? Like,
yeah,
you just live there now, so yeah.
Wait, Andrew didn't tell us what he wanted for getting 14-0.
That's true. Yeah.
How many terror? What type of terror shard did you want?
Yeah, 14 terror shards, one for everyone.
One for everyone. What do you think your prize should be for 14-0, Ding? What do you think?
It's so funny. I don't even know what terror shards are.
Oh my god. So okay, we talked a bit about Brian Collins, Angelo Hunter losing the Gallade. The rest of it is a size spam team, which I think plenty of people are familiar with, and we don't have the sheet to say more about it. So, lastly, let's round it off with Aaron Brock's team. Aaron was running basically just hail balance, snow balance, whatever you want to call it. Like, these are all just solid Pokemon. I think the main thing to note here is that not everyone commits to running double steel. It seems like people usually pick one steel type on these balance teams, whether it is Heatran or King Gambit. But opting for 2, nothing wrong with that. Missing out on... I actually don't know what that slot would normally be. Can't really say.
So the notable things about Aaron Brock's team, because I did play him in top 8. The reason why I thought his team was like a lot worse than mine versus Raghav's is that he doesn't have a Rillaboom, which makes like a big diff, especially with snow, and like when you put up the Aurora Veil, like Rillaboom's healing is basically just like doubled in value. And also he doesn't have backs, which I'm not sure how necessary it is, but that does make it less of a snow team and more of just like a balanced team with the Ninetales. And then his Ninetales also just didn't have Protect. It was like 4 ice moves, which was like kind of weird, but
Yeah, there's no Moonblast either, I think.
Yeah. It was
Freeze Dry
Icy
Blizzard,
Wind, Freeze
Icy Wind.
Dry, Blizzard, Aurora Veil.
Dang.
I also think Amoongus is a lot scarier for that kind of team. And like I said, I don't disrespect this room, so I was testing those 5 with Sinistcha over King Gambit, but the matchups just weren't. It just wasn't really working. Michael said, like Rillaboom just adds too much to the team in terms of recovery that Sinistcha it just didn't fit in.
Are we gonna talk about how Sinistcha is bad again?
No, I don't think it's bad. It just didn't work on my team. I also didn't have much time, so I just kind of went with the one I had already tested. But yeah, Aaron's team is like proof. Aurora Veil plus Heatran is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's just a bunch of good Pokemon.
Yep, Aurora Veil, a very cracked move. Ninetales did appreciate a really good buff this gen, so. All right. Yeah, we might revisit this next weekend. We'll see. If we want to talk about some of the teams that finished below 8th, I don't know, 9th would be cool to see. Maybe the rest as well. But let's quick preview Lille, Lily, the regional in Europe, in France. Yeah, going on. It seems like it's got a lot of players. That's the capacity. I actually don't know how much people have signed up.
I've heard they call Lille the Peoria of France, actually.
Lyle.
Oh.
I can't think of a way to
I
make
really don't think it's Lyle. I believe it's pronounced.
Lil like Lil Wayne.
No, it's pronounced like.
Is Raghav cutting off for you too, Adi?
No, he said it's pronounced like.
Yeah.
Oh, Adi's internet's doing that thing again. Okay, so let's quick preview this one. It's being held in France, and we talked a lot about.
It is Lille, by the way.
Lille. Okay. It's actually named Lil Wayne. Somebody said it's in Phil. Okay, wow. So this might be a huge event. Definitely one to watch out for. Is it being streamed? It is being streamed. Yeah, TPCI through Victory Road or Victory Road through TPCI, however you want to say that. That's cool. It's cool, but it's not cool. Sorry. Victory Road put on some good streams without the TPCI brand, and then they were like, "All right, cool. We're gonna like take you guys in, and we'll start streaming from round 3 or 4 or whatever that they do." And it's like, well, we just get less content now. This sucks.
Alex hates unions for context. Like he's really anti-union.
Yeah, that's very true. Don't take that seriously.
He doesn't like work a part of a union job, but he actually goes to unionized Starbucks and Trader Joe's and stuff, and just yells at them.
Yeah, he's actually a professional scab. Whenever someone goes on strike, he's like, "Yo, you need some workers."
That's what I do for a living. Okay, before people cancel me, let's talk about the past 2 events held in. So first off, we have the one in 2018. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you did.
The first one is the 2018 Sun Series, won by Ishmael. With I'm not going to talk about the Mons because most of the people watching this don't know anything about this format. That team was a Scolipede in 6th though. Wait a minute.
What?
Yo, not gonna dull Scolipede?
They said one poison type was not enough. They need 2, and same with grass. Whoa.
Man.
Fake region for sure.
I mean, to be fair,
So cool.
France really is the Quebec of Europe, huh?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Exactly that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the names that I'm familiar with are I do recognize Alexander Lizardi, obviously Oliver Escalin and Kutash, Yuri, are names that.
Davide Cateruccio.
Wait, yo, guys, there's also a fucking Gengar there. That's like
I'm not
Mega
as
Gengar.
bothered by the Gengar. It was a
Gengar was
Zern.
fine in Sun Series.
I think it did okay in Sun Series.
I got a top 16 in Australia with Gengar, Zekrom, Kyogre, and Moon Series.
We don't have to talk about that one.
I ran base form Sash Gengar at Worlds in 2019 Ultra Series.
What is phase form?
Base form.
What?
Not
Oh,
Mega.
base form. I thought you were talking about some move. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's like a Yu-Gi-Oh card or some shit.
The next one we won, or the next one was won by Toma Gravatui.
Ratatouille.
I think that's no.
Uh,
It's sorry, it's Thomas Grooville, I think is how you say it. Raghav always hates how I pronounce this guy's name. It's wait, what's their username again?
Is it not
Hari.
Corvoy?
Hari, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hari. So Hari definitely a
Green.
very strong French player, a likely attendant of this event.
Not
Julio.
only is he likely attending, he said this is his last event ever.
Whoa.
Oh,
oh damn.
I don't know if that makes me more
Right?
likely to pick him or less. Anyways, Julio, another very strong player. Florian Henry, is that?
No,
That's not that Florian. Thank you.
he's German.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was like, I didn't think the Florian. I was thinking it was
Daflo.
yes. And then Red
I feel
Silver.
like I
deploy
know
Bernard.
Florian Henry too.
I feel like I might.
Hippolyte.
Philip, IDC Zach. That don't think I could pronounce that one, but it's I don't care. Zach.
Jack.
Oh, Zach
Hey,
Thornberg was here? What the heck?
I'm saying that too. What the fuck?
Oh yeah. Oh, this was. I remember because he asked me if I would do a team report on his team, but he got a top 16. That
Yeah,
was
but
the first time we
it's
chatted.
top 16
Oh, where
but
is it?
French. Top 16 but French. Come on, like it's a French top 16.
Top 16 before we had top 16 cut. Or before events got big enough to cut to top 16.
Oh, Tansley went.
Yeah, Tansley. We got
Jonas Viegel. I don't know if I feel like he won a regional or something.
He did.
Like
He did.
Lily Cole, right?
He won. No, he won in 2020 regional with Hard Trick Room.
Oh, okay.
Indeed, he had. Yeah.
do we know who
Yeah, actually, it was something.
did we ever figure out who Marco Hamanta Caladura Silva is?
I think that's Marco Fierro.
He's that senior that got. he's that senior who used that software, right?
Oh no. I don't want to know. I don't want to know what he's talking about. I'm moving on.
You know what you're talking about.
Anyways, we no, I know that's Marco Fierro, Nerd of Now. Thank you. Anyways, I saw at least 4 European names, so we should be good. Maybe we can pick 4 people for smart money.
Oh
Let's
god.
let's go ahead and you're lucky enough to have first dibs, Michael. So who do you think? I know Kunal.
Yeah, I don't
Raghav
even
did
know
just
who's
like
attending though.
Raghav. You
What
gotta see what
about-
Kunal said in chat.
What about Gomez? Is Gomez going?
Alex Gomez.
I don't know European players.
Probably. France is right next to Spain, right? He's probably going.
Audie, I can't like.
Alright.
I don't want to
No
like
clue.
be searching Twitter right now. Pull up Gomez's Twitter.
Let's see if he's going.
Yeah, he might have said
Mhm.
something. It's like in a week.
You know Spanish, right?
You know
I
Spanish.
do know Spanish.
Yeah, he actually tweets too much for like you to easily find that. So, never mind.
He did say his
He's not
last tweet
going.
is, "This is important for Lyle." I don't know if that means he's going to Lyle or not, but
Oh wait, I don't
Okay,
know why.
just lock it in. Lock it in.
Lock it in, honestly.
oh no, he preparation for Lyle is another tweet. Okay, yeah,
Okay.
he's going.
Nice. All right. Good pick, Raghav. We're throwing it over to you.
Marco Hemanta Caladura Silva.
All right.
Oh, he's like the youngest international champion ever, right? That's him.
Yeah, he beats this guy in top 4 that who's like really hot.
Why is he saying
Wait,
Lyle?
was that the
It's
guy-
tilting me. Kunal, how do you say it? Hop in the Discord call. I'm inviting you.
Wait, I just told you. I told you how to say it.
I don't believe you. How do I add
Gotta
him?
be
I look-
mean.
I don't know how to add him to the group. Sorry.
I think I can.
Yeah, thank you for typing it out. It was really helpful.
Is lol but French? Thank you, Rafa.
That's Rafa?
I think.
Yeah.
I think so.
Lille?
Lille?
It's definitely. It's
See,
definitely
Raghav's saying it the same way I was saying.
It's Lille?
if you want to call it Lily, that's also fine.
It's definitely Lille. Like that's just like the French they just put letters for fun most of the time. You don't actually say them.
Okay. Man, I don't even know if I have a smart money lined up, but I hope you do, Adi.
Oh, I do. Is it my turn? Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're
I
up.
got
Gavin's not
you
going,
know. I think we're going to bully Tomas Ratatouille into going to one more event, which is of course the World Championships, because he is winning this regional, and in what it otherwise would be his last event ever. I believe in the last event powers. No one ever quits VGC, and if this is what it takes to get him to not quit, then so be it. He's winning the regional.
But that's who I wanted to pick. Who else is good at Pokemon? I know who I want to
We
pick.
just previewed Madrid midseason showdown in case you need some names.
Is that Rudra in chat?
That is Rudra on chat.
Based.
My little brother.
Oh wait, is Rudra going?
I don't think so. I think he's currently occupied here in the United States with it. But maybe next time.
I'll take Victor Medina. Torviv, are you still here? You were in the chat.
Torviv the GOAT. Fuck, I should have said his name.
Yeah.
Damn, if Marco heard that, Rago, oh my god.
But I just picked the first name I thought of because he always does well. I mean, no, I'll pick Roxanne instead.
All right, yeah, Torviv's going. I was gonna pick Roxanne, and then I looked at the other thing and I saw Torviv, and I was like, all right, whatever. I let's just go with Torviv because he's actually watching the podcast, and Roxanne, I don't know where you are. Come on, big fan.
True.
All right. So there's our smart monies. We'll check back in on this in a week. We actually didn't talk about smart monies for Sacramento, but I think Adi won that one because Adi picked Raghav, I thought.
I did pick
Someone
Rocket.
picked
That's right.
Riley.
Oh shit! No, somebody did pick Riley. Who picked Riley? Luca?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think Luca picked.
I remember Justin picked Alice, which is Pain. Will, who I did not think did very well.
Mhm.
And then Gavin was picked.
I picked Gavin. So Luca picked Riley. So Adi did not actually win. Luca won. Damn. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to the last segment. The Calc Is Right. Sorry that we're running a little bit long here, but let's finish it out. Hopefully people have some calcs ready. Raghav, do you have a calc?
Yeah, +4 iron defense, +4 body press Como into Terra Fairy Heatran behind Veil.
All right, you have to give us at least some EVs. So max defense.
Just do it. I was just max HP 4 defense.
All right.
Do you want me to give you my spread?
You don't have to have. We don't have to have your spread. We can just do it approximation, I guess. Or, well, I don't know.
I mean, I can just tell you.
You can just tell us.
As 156 bold. I mean, the team report will come out sometime soon.
Yeah, 156 bold. Body press into Terra Fairy Heatran behind Veil. +4. Wait, Heatran was +4? I'm kidding.
No, bruh.
I'm kidding.
Bruh.
How?
Don't be silly.
How many grassy seeds did it eat? Okay.
Heatran gets iron defense too, right?
It does.
Yeah, but
Because I did see play one on ladder that was Iron Defense, Body Press, Magma Storm.
that was probably me.
I've seen
That
that
was
set before.
actually-
It's cool. Japanese players are trying that one. I've got my number.
I've got my
Rob said
number as well.
20%, bro.
All right.
I
Yeah.
got a
ESM.
number.
So you just say you've got a number, or you say when you're locked in.
Yeah, 32%. Let's
Oh,
go
okay.
with that.
Yeah. You wait for somebody to call on you. You'll be first.
Oh,
You said
sorry,
32 though. Okay. Raghav, who are you
Yeah.
picking next?
Adi.
I got 40.
Okay. On God, I was picking 33. I'm not trying to price this right. ESM or 33. That is just my number I had. All right. I guess I'm the guy that's on the stream. Huh. I should run it.
I also didn't pull it up at all, so.
No. I'm supposed to run it.
Okay.
What? Okay. I should not have picked this spread.
So
Offensively.
32, 33, and Adi said 40?
I said 40.
All right.
Unlike Alex, I don't change my answer after hearing the person who raid Komodo and their response.
Wait.
could've
No,
made him
I
go
had
mad.
one. I had 33 before he said it. I swear. I just didn't get called on first because he blurted it out because he's never played this game before. Body press. I think I'm missing a couple of things. I'm missing a lot of things actually. I need a
You're missing the
Terra.
+4, the Terra, and the Veil.
Yeah. Is there a veil or is there just screens? Oh, or a veil. And +4. Oh shit. I think I'm better at Como than ESM. I think I have the full calc here. He said 32. That's not in. It's 32.3.
Okay, yeah, you're the only one who's in the range.
Adi's out of the range too. That's true. Oh my god, I'm actually the best Como player in the call. Holy shit.
I probably would have said like 35. To be
I
honest.
should have ran this at the tournament.
That's damn.
Kunal said, what the fuck, he ran the calc. I cheated, man.
Tom brings up a good point. It's not max HP Como. That might change things.
Man, that's a silly one. Okay. ESM, do you have a calc?
Yes. +1 Terra Grass, Grassy Glide from Rillaboom with a Miracle Seed into
what?
Tornadus
Oh, Tom.
Tornadus.
with max HP.
Oh,
4
man.
defense, max HP.
Yeah, and are we doing the one we talked about this weekend where it's Gen 8 Grassy Glide BP and Gen 7 Grassy Terrain?
No. This is like a real calc, like a relatively bulky Tornadus with like +1 Grassy Glide, Terra Grass.
+1.
Wait.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
+1.
howled it. We howled
Okay.
it. But also, wait,
Yeah.
ESM, what is the Tornadus's bulk in the calc that we're running?
Max HP for defense is what I'm going with.
Okay. All right. I will.
Fathom this.
And max attack adamant on Rillaboom just in case.
I got my number.
I got my number.
Oh, yeah, I got my number.
Oh, he's got there. All right, ESM just calling someone to start.
All right, Alex. What's your number?
62.
Rogov?
63.
Again, as the only person who apparently has a moral compass on the show,
Oh
I'm going
my.
to stick to my own answer and say 54.
54. Raghav, did you actually change your answer?
60s, but then I was like 67's too high. 63 sounds right. I thought it'd be funny.
I did not change my answer in round 1, Audie. I swear to God.
I know.
I kind of did.
If I remember correctly, it's 55 to 65, but
Oh, 65. 50, wait, 55 to 60. Oh, I would be in there then.
Yeah, both of you guys would
what
be
am I
in.
missing? Terra Grass.
+1 Terra
Plus
Grass.
one.
Wow, the Woodhammer is just doing so much. 55 to 66, I think I'm seeing.
Yep.
56. Okay,
Not
so
again.
me and Raghav are in there.
No.
Wait, Audie, what did you say?
Said 50.
I said, oh, man, I'm just 1% off every time. So
What did-
sad.
You said 55?
I said 54.
54. Okay, damn. Got it. What was the upper on the last one that you missed on? You said 40 and it was 39?
I was
Like
off
38.
by like
Maybe
5%.
less.
Yeah,
God,
about 5.5%.
Okay. All right, Audie, what calc do you got?
All right, so I am personally a grass pond believer. We have not seen very much of it here, but I think it's still got potential. And so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna say base form Ogre Pond, Terra Grass, Choice Banded, in grassy terrain with it. What move are we clicking? We're clicking What moves does it get? I don't know what Bullet Seed. Bullet Seed's kind of cap.
Maybe Cudgel.
Oh yeah, just run Ivy Cudgel. That's right. Ivy Cudgel into 52 HP for defense Ninetales. Alolan Ninetales in the snow.
Okay, so
Sorry,
we're
say that
grass
again?
ivy cudgeling the
All right.
Ninetales and
So
Snow.
we are grass Ivy Cudgeling the Ninetales in snow with Choice Band, Ivy Cudgel from Terra Grass in grassy terrain, Ogre Pond base form.
Mm,
We're max speed jolly.
Max speed, jolly, CV, cudgel. It's in terrain.
It's in terrain.
And max HP Ninetales, you said?
And just max HP 4 defense Ninetales.
Okay, I got my answer.
I got my answer.
Ooh, this is like, I'll say I have an answer.
All right. By the way, I did not click the add button. It automatically does that every so often. But if you have ads and you wish you didn't, there is a way to get around that, and it costs you $5 a month.
Or if you have an Amazon Prime, Prime, you can subscribe, use that for free.
True.
Yeah. Any primers in chat? Anyways, let's answer some questions. We got the Ogre Pawn into the Ninetales. Let's go with Alex first, so that you can't change your answer. Cheater.
I needed a little more time. My number was 102.
102. All right, Raghav, what do you got?
I was gonna say 97.
No, what are you gonna say now?
103? No, I'll stick with 97.
97. Michael, what do you got?
I'm gonna go with 92. I don't think it kills.
All
All right, Alex, you want to pull it up?
Let's do it. Ninetales, bulky bike play, I guess. 52.
Yeah, Twitch does force a certain number of ads. I can't get around it.
Ogre Pawn, max speed sash.
We're just up. It's like we're putting out 2 hours of content for you every week that you're enjoying.
All right, Adi, have I finished the calc? 252 attack, choice bend, terror, grass, ogre pawn, ivy cudgel, into max HP, 4 defense, Ninetales, and snow.
I have my screen is a whole minute behind yours, so
yeah,
I can't tell.
Of course. The answer is 97.7 to 115.5, which I think means they both miss because Raghav had 97.
Yeah.
I said 102, dude.
No, you did not.
That is what I got too. Yeah. So, Alex, you got it right. It does kill most of the time.
I think this might be my first time ever going 3 for 3. This is crazy.
That's crazy.
All right. I've got a funny one that I just thought of now. I was trying to think of something relevant to like backs. All right. We've got wait, I think Raghav said 102 and it's kind of problematic to think he didn't, Alex. Man. The Torkel calcs? I don't know any Torkel calcs. What are you talking about?
Why do you have to know the calc?
Okay, this is the
That's
one.
true.
The one that I just made up now, so I don't know the answer. I technically can play along. But your Baxcalibur is clicking Icicle Spear into the Lando, but it Terra Flying. Also, you got knocked off and you only got 2 hits. And you're intimidated. How much is your Icicle Spear doing to Terra Flying Lando? No bulk, 4 HP.
So you're -1.
But how do you wait? But the range is huge because it could do from anywhere between like.
You only have 2 hits.
So I said it's 2 hits every time.
Oh, it's 2 hits every time. Okay.
Sorry, like you got 2 hits.
Okay, how much attack investment on the backs?
I don't know what a back spread runs. Let's just say it's 252 Jolly.
Okay. Okay, I got an answer. Thing.
I got an answer.
I have an answer. I'm gonna guess on my own because I don't know the answer, and Nails called me out to try go for 4 for 4. So I guess I gotta try. And I guess I'll go first, so there's no cheating allegations. I'll go first on my own question. Adi, you said you're locked in? Adi's locked into that pose, bro. What the hell? Is he frozen?
See, once again, I'm not sure if I'm frozen or not because Raghav is not moving.
Oh,
Okay. I was frozen this time.
dude, they were saying that about ESM in the Twitch chat. They were like, because when he was playing, he wasn't moving, and then they were like, "Wait, bro's a statue."
That's funny, yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna guess on my own calc 82. I will call on Raghav next.
I'm gonna go with 46.
Damn, 46? What the fuck?
I'm very confused. Okay, ESM.
72 is where I was going.
All right, Adi.
I'm with Raghav here. It's I mean, it's still two-shotting, but it's doing 55.
Why is it doing less than half, Raghav?
You guys are stupid.
You ran them on, and I'm very worried now.
Oh, what the
You
fuck?
said 2 hits, right? Dude,
Wait,
it's base
also-
25.
Also, hold on, Nerd of Now, you're in the Discord, not the this. You're in the Twitch. What is this default backs? It just doesn't have full EVs. It's 4, 196, 252. I swear I didn't change that, right? There's a lot
Yeah,
of
you
back
did,
sets,
yeah.
huh? But that's funny. I will be taking off the dice. Putting on Lax Incense. That doesn't affect things, right? Icicle Spear, 2 hits. Versus Landorus. I want Terrifying Choice Scarf. Terra.
Landers has a low defense stat, though.
Ooh. I think I am not in there. I think you guys are both in there. Jeez.
Damn, what the
Wait,
hell?
no. I think Adi might not be. Adi, what did you say?
Adi is-
No, I
You
said
said
55.
55.
He's actually...
Yeah.
Adi, are you over 4 today? Or over 3?
I'm beasting.
Over 3, and I'm off by like 1% each time. Insane.
Man, I did not get the 4 for 4. Sorry, Nails. But, man, wow, I did not... I guess I'm happy that Raghav got it right. He at least he knows his mon, I guess.
Base 25, it's like a lot less than you think. Like, even when before it tears, like, you need like 3 hits sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're -1.
God
Yeah.
damn.
What the hell?
And yeah, ESM,
I had
what did you,
less than
yeah, you said like 72, so you were in way
Yeah,
off
yeah.
territory with me.
Right.
Wow. I mean, I don't know. I just thought Bex had a high attack stat, and I thought that would make up for it. I know we went jolly, but man, okay.
And -1, only 2x. Like you are really taking away a lot of the multipliers there.
Oh, for sure. Okay. Yeah, so that'll do it for this time. That's it for Tub Takes. Next week we'll be talking about the results of Lille. We'll be talking about maybe a bit more information about the Sacramento teams. We'll see. And yeah,
Next week is Toronto preview too.
Toronto preview.
Preview.
Okay.
The,
Yeah.
the hits
true.
keep coming.
So yeah,
yeah.
lots of fun stuff. I don't know if you know anybody that we can raid at Audi.
Yeah, Jody's streaming. You can rate him.
Jody's streaming. Okay.
Yeah, of course. If you missed any part of this, you can watch it on YouTube on Wednesday. Come out. So I put that in chat, and then I guess Raghav, Michael, do y'all have any anything you want to plug? Any shout outs before we head out?
Shout out me. Shout out my Twitter. And I've tweeted it many times that I will eventually stream, and it's true. I just don't know when, but I will.
You've started
That's
getting
how I
some of the
feel,
stuff
too.
together. So
Yeah.
yeah, Raghav's Twitter is of course here on the screen, right below the page. So and there's ESM's Twitter as well, but don't bother.
Yeah. Follow
It's
my
not very
Twitter
busy
at,
school.
at your own discretion, I guess.
All right, with that, that'll do it for us this time. We'll catch you guys next week on Tub Takes. Peace out, peeps.